Home ain't ever what you wanted it to be. So you packed your things and you left. Took a train, left somewhere out west, and you found what looks like hope. You take that little bit of change you got in your pocket and you build a ranch, maybe a nice little family. But unfortunately, there's never hope. Welcome to Crystal Grit. Mind your pistols now.
Hi, everyone. It's us again for like the second campaign I've ran. Hope y'all are doing good. Yeah. So back into this is the second week of our Whispers in the Dust campaign here on Hard Knock Dice, and I am, as the person who is speaking and doing the intro, that means I am the person in charge. Also, I'm Cowboy God. Hell yeah, I'm so glad that is my little combat label. So yes, I am. God damn it. I don't know if it was like that last week, but I'm pleased to notice that. That makes me smile. Anyway, sorry, back on track. But the people down the line from me on my left, I believe, if I'm orienting towards my camera, these are your gunslingers, your ne'er-do-wells, your dastardly I get that. Hey, okay. Woo. Take two. And I blame my tendency to ramble. So, Whispers of the Dark, session 2. We ended last session in the middle of a combat that started off as an ambush, as a bunch of ghostly cowboys led by their one living leader, who knows, just opened fire on the Sunrise Saloon, trying to murder a gentleman who had come running in the middle of the night. Our party, our gunslingers, returned fire. They started blasting. They've killed, re-killed, put to rest most of the ghost cowboys and have mostly murdered the one living gentleman amongst them. And we're going to hop right back into it as, oh, good gracious, as Callie, the bouncer slash general manager for the Sunrise Saloon, had been struck down. She is currently bleeding out in the dirt beneath a cart that she had been using to try to take some cover. And we're going to come right back in at the top of the initiative, which will be Geist. I hope you know where you're at and what you're doing, buddy.
I do, to both of those things.
Fantastic.
I believe it was briefly discussed last
Butt
time.
flap down.
Oh God. Oh no, we looked it up, and the canonical nightwear for the period was just a long nightshirt. So long nightshirt
up around your knees. You did the thing. You have girded your loins with the nightgown.
Goodness.
That is probably going to require an athletics or acrobatics check to vault the below fence there.
Yeah, we're just trying to get whichever there. You prefer. Don't roll really shit, because I would think it was funny. I don't know if anybody else would.
I don't think I would think it was very funny either. But seeing as I don't have either of those trained, we're going to go with acrobatics, as dexterity is higher than strength for this character by not a small margin. Oh shit! Okay.
What you complaining about? You got it.
15 plus 4, that'll be a 19.
Yeah, I think 19 will do it easily. Vaulting the railings, continuing your run.
Woo. Oh, come on, sit down. There we go. And so that was a move action and a bonus action dash.
Fantastic.
And if I could use any combination, oh, it's supposed to be 5 feet further forward. There we go. If I could use any combination of like action and object interaction to like drop flat, grab the unconscious and bleeding bouncer slash bar manager and drag her over next to me.
Dragging a creature of the same size as you, your movement speed would be halved for that. For how far you can move Callie.
I mean, I have the full action, so
Yeah, so you got 30. So that means you can move her 15 feet.
It's not letting me move her under the. Oh yeah, I can't move her character.
Yeah,
That's
you
not
can't
mine.
move that.
I'm
Yeah.
done. So we're trying to move her right here ish.
So I'd say you could get her about there.
So just kind of like
putting you in kind of back into one of these 3 squares.
Yeah, he's reaching down, grabbing a leg. It's all very unceremonious. Just reach down, grab her by the leg, and pull her under the cart.
Through the mud.
Yep.
Dirt. It's not muddy, I suppose. It did rain today.
Well, I guess if that used my action, I will then use the object interaction to locate her med kit, and that'll be my whole turn.
Okay. All right. So Geist on his turn, sprinting from his cover in the bushes, vaulting a railing, which I will say these houses have been silent. Like, you've noticed that nobody is coming to check out. They hear a fucking gunfight going on in the streets and everybody's minding their fucking business.
As they should.
Sliding on his stomach, grabbing Callie by the ankle, hauling her back through. All right, and that's going to be your whole turn. That will then bring us to Clyde. You are still up on top of the sunrise, having repeatedly taken cover from up on top. What you doing?
Clyde's gonna slip on back over here,
Okay.
and I believe that guy is gonna be out of range for me, but still in maximum range. So we're gonna take a couple of shots at him at disadvantage.
Sure.
See what we
A
get.
couple. You action surge? The pre-action surge.
2 pistols.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, offhand. That's right.
So that's a natural 20 and a 12. I'm assuming that hits.
Yeah. A 12 total.
12 on the dice.
12 on this. Oh yeah, no, that will hit.
It's +6.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that will hit.
And a 17 and an 11. So does 17 hit?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Let's roll some damage for these guys. First one not so hot with a total of 7 damage.
7. Okay.
And the second one max damage. So 20.
20. You have 2 weapon fighting?
Yep.
Very nice. Yeah, no, even with damage reduction, the second shot being 20 fucking points of damage will put him down for the count. The first shot, more of a glancing blow. The second one, you're able to steady your aim and just shatter the skull. The ghostly form that had materialized around the skeleton dissipating.
All right. I'm gonna take another 5-foot step to drop off right here.
Drop off to right there. Okay.
And bonus action, manifest my echo in front of me.
Okay.
If I can grab it behind.
Did you lose it?
Where I hit him.
Okay, boom. A little pale, shadowy version of Mr. King appearing on that box. But on the side of the box. Okay. Awesome. Is that gonna be it for your turn?
That's it for my turn.
Okay, not bad at all. That brings us to the sole remaining squad member of Purple Squad, as I will continue to call them. Let's see. Y'all got some folk. There are a lot of folks around here. A lot of options. So we're gonna roll for it. Because we have Alistair, Bell, Sarah Bell, and a Shadow to choose from. There's gonna be attempting a shot at Sarah Bell, which first we'll have to make a Wisdom saving throw, correct?
Yep.
So let me go ahead and roll that.
He will, if I'm not mistaken, have disadvantage on that roll.
disadvantage, or is that the minus D6? That'd be
Sorry.
the minus D6, right? Because of demotivation, right?
Well, did I not hit him with vicious mockery? No, I hit
Vic-
him. That's right. I did. I demotivated. So
Yeah. Yeah, you vicious mockery, a different one. That
Mhm.
brings his 8 down to a 6.
I'm here to help.
Get double fucked.
So that is off, but that does cause him to have to retarget, and so now he has to choose between the other 3 targets once again. So,
Are you counting the echo in those targets?
correct.
Okay.
So it went down from 4 targets down to 3. Unfortunately, it did still roll a 3, which is going to be targeting Alistair.
Gotcha.
So that is going to be an attack roll at you.
Which I get +2 to my AC or +3 to my AC.
Plus 3 for light cover. That is a 16 just on the D20, though.
That'll still hit.
Okay.
I think my AC currently is 14, so I will probably go down here.
Okay. So where'd my D8s go? Woo! Let me use my red and black ones because those feel more murdery. Oh. You might be up. That rolled not great. So that is 4, 5, 6 points of piercing damage.
6 points minus the
Minus your DR.
DR, which is 2. So 4 points of
So
damage.
4 points of damage.
Still up, boys and girls.
Yeah.
It rolled really bad. A 1 and a 4 on the D8s. Not great. Okay, so still up. Yeah, what is this? So let's see, purple. Cerebell is pretty clearly making a beeline. It's not great. It's gonna move to kind of body block for its boss, kind of in this general vicinity. Kind of moves, kind of walking on over. And in Purple's turn, that's gonna bring us to Callie. If you could make a death saving throw for me and just roll it and keep the results to yourself. Okay. Fantastic. And in Callie's turn, this is where Red Squad would have gone if the last member hadn't just got fucking deleted. Alistair, it is now your turn, sir.
All right. Wonderful. I'm going to step up to the window.
Very well.
And when I look at this gentleman on the other side of the window, what do I see? What does he look like?
So this guy, and this is where I believe I made a bit of a whoopsie, if I recall correctly, and not copying a piece of information. Okay, well. I'm so sorry. Bear with me one moment. Okay, or we're just gonna get grief. Okay, that does not contain information I thought it did. So gentleman looks like a like slightly older guy, maybe late 40s, maybe. Pretty sun-weathered face, handlebar mustache kind of going across his face, fairly short cropped hair, kind of gelled so that it is kind of in a bit of a comb over, but in wearing a full-on breastplate underneath a similarly kind of to not in like the visual style, but in the defensive intent of the 2 deputies that y'all have met, with like the heavy, like almost reinforced looking duster over the top, a big good gracious tower shield that he's toting around on his left arm. Still has, despite gasping for breath, a little bit of blood trickling out of his mouth. Jesus, I forgot, he just kind of got shot from directly above, like a bit of a gash in like where his collarbone area, where some of his armor got blown away. But gun's still up and cocked, like still looks like somebody, somebody that looks like he knows he's probably about to die, but is still gonna try to fucking kill someone if he's gonna. What's that?
For all intents and purposes, he looks human.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
He doesn't look like the undead that are rolling.
No,
around here.
not
Okay.
at all. All the others are very clearly they are skeletons that are like coated in like a spiritual like
Gotcha.
makeup to give them more of like almost like it adds personality to them.
So Alistair's gonna walk up to the window. He sees this guy's tower shield, all this other stuff. He's gonna wipe the blood that's now leaking out of his mouth after being shot twice, or I think actually 3 times, because this guy's also shot me twice. And you dirty mother. He's gonna look at his belt. Did you happen to fill up that canteen on your side on the way into town? Small little deserted well from here? If so, it should be kicking in right about. And I'm gonna cast sleep on him.
Works.
No need to roll.
No. I don't think you could possibly fail.
Okay. All
He's
right.
got a man a few hit points, I suppose.
Correct.
So, as you say, right about, and he just starts stumbling and falls down. It's pretty good timing, I suppose. Let's wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I am getting woozy.
Wonderful.
And I think that's all I can do, unless you'll allow me to like stick my head out of the window and bonus action demotivate this guy.
Um,
Up to you.
I'll say negatory Ghost Rider.
Okay, no worries. That'll
'Cause
be it
I
for
would
my
say
turn.
it would. I mean, it depends. I'll give you the option. You can choose to take some damage if you want to shove your kind of
God,
if you want
I
to
can't.
like
No.
clamber through like some basically broken glass. You would be taking a little bit of slashing damage.
Yeah, no, I got 4 hit points. I cannot do that. So
Okay.
I will not. I will
You
instead.
eyeball. You could probably get out there and see him. You know, you'd cut yourself up a bit
Right.
to do so.
I will instead use. I used 5 feet of movement to walk up to the window. I used 20 feet of my movement to sit at the table here and grab a shot of whiskey, and that'll be it for my turn.
Off the table. It's from a glass. It was originally more than a shot. It was at least a couple fingers, but it got hit by a bullet, and there's just enough pooled in what's left of the glass to toss back a little bit of a drink. All right, that would have brought us to his turn, but he is unconscious. Collapsed in a pile, and that will instead bring us to Belle.
All right. Okay, so I am going to shoot the guy in front of me. And
All
that
right.
is I forget what my bonus is.
I believe you have a +8 to hit.
+8. That's right. Okay, so 21.
Wait, that
To
will hit. Go ahead and roll that
That's a
damage.
good one.
I like those like surprises when y'all are like, no, you can do this thing. I get so excited. Okay. And the damage on that is a natural 1. So see, that's what I get for getting cocky.
It should be 2d8.
Oh, 2d8. Oh,
Yep, for a revolver.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be 2d8.
yay. Okay. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Nothing, just kidding. Ignore me. 8.
8 damage total.
Yes.
All right, that is just enough. Shattering a few vertebrae in its spinal column, bones and gun clattering to the ground as once again the ghost bits of it clearing out as it has fallen. I believe with him unconscious for how long does sleep last for? For a while, right?
Until
somebody
someone
wakes
wakes them up.
Just
Question
until
mark?
somebody wakes them up. It doesn't have a duration. I think it's
It's a minute of
minute
the
or 10
magic.
minutes.
1 minute. 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay.
Okay. So, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. What's up? Anything else for your turn?
No, what were you going to say?
No, go ahead. It's still your turn. Is there anything else you want to do? You fired,
Yes.
killed the skeleton.
Yes. So, gonna walk over there to this dude, and
If I see her walking through the window, I'll speak up really quickly. Oh shit, I got 6 words. Let me distill it something real quick.
Don't touch him.
Essentially, I'll say he'll wake up if you kick him to I think that's more. I just
Yeah,
put
he'll
a
wake
lot
up
of
if you kick him.
apostrophes in there.
It's a lot of.
If you
He'll
one
wake up if you
word,
kick.
Squishing.
if you's one word, kick 'em's one word.
Okay, so if I shoot him, then
Shoot
that would
him.
wake him up instead of killing him. That am I?
It could do
tracking
both.
correctly? It could do both.
It could do both. It's up to you. You've just been informed that damaging him could wake him up, basically. It's up to you.
I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay, do you have another attack?
And my bonus action is a 2-weapon attack.
Do you have a second
and
revolver?
I've got it. Yep,
You
I
do?
do have 2 revolvers. Yep.
So going down, firing with your offhand attack, roll it. Is very hard to miss. Technically, it's at disadvantage because he's like incapacitated.
I was say, is it an advantage because I'm standing directly over it?
Yeah, it would end up being
No,
a disadvantage
I think the
Actually.
ranged attack disadvantage only applies if they're
if they're hostile, but he's prone,
right. But
and
I think
all ranged attacks are made at disadvantage against a prone target. But he's also
He's
unconscious,
also unconscious.
which I believe it invokes advantage. So it's just a straight
Right.
roll.
Just a straight roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on. So that
D&D is weird.
is a 17.
That's just on the dice.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. I mean, even without it, he can't make use of his shield, so he couldn't even approach it. Yeah, so that hits. Roll damage.
Okay. And
Actually,
that is
yeah, roll
14 damage.
14 damage.
Yep.
Bang.
Oh, well, I guess he's asleep for a long time now.
Okay.
Does he seem awake?
No.
Okay.
he's a lot more tired now. In fact,
Won't be moving
The
for a
big
hot
nap.
minute.
So that
Did he
means
die?
all hostiles do what?
Did he die?
Somebody would have to check. He is not moving currently. That does bring you guys out of initiative, though. So we're now out of initiative. We could hop on out of the battle map if y'all so desire and swap to less fighty music.
First and foremost, though, since it is very time sensitive, he'll be using the healer's kit to stabilize.
Are you proficient in medicine?
No, it does not require proficiency.
It doesn't require proficiency.
It
Fancy that.
Sarabelle would have been running in that direction and just been yelling, "Get the fuck out of the way!" when she gets over there and cure wounds.
All
You
right.
walk around like
Yeah.
he's poking gauze into holes. And
So what one use was used to stabilize. Cerebral comes running up with a heal. You know, of course, roll your heal and let's see how much health Callie comes up with.
2 plus a number
A number.
plus 4, 6.
Nice. So
Nice.
when she comes up, Geist will not be there anymore, as he will have stabilized her and immediately fucked off. Like, and if she came running up ready to heal, he's like, all right, he's gone.
the guy's moving away as Cerebell is healing Callie real quick. So because some things are still a little bit time sensitive.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
everybody else doing?
Clyde would be dropping down off that awning to see if this leader, the corporeal dude, still among the living. Let's get him a
Are you
quick-
checking?
Yeah.
Give me a quick medicine check.
Alistair, as you do that, will be calling out through the window, still from his seat, and grabbing another shot of whiskey from across the table that someone else probably left there. But just call out, if he still has any brains left in that head of his, we should ask him some questions.
16.
16. He's still alive but fading fast.
Still alive but fading fast.
You can definitely tell he is actively bleeding out.
Clyde does not have any type of stuff like that, so he will. This guy's got regular clothes on or whatever, and he's got some holes in him that probably need to be
Oh,
less
yeah.
blood.
Giant,
shooting.
like cauterized, like wound, right? Like kind of in this whole general ballpark from where Callie blasted the shit out of him. You shot him from up above, so he's got some holes there. He's in bad shape. Yeah.
I wouldn't be giving myself advantage, obviously, but would it be possible for me to use the assistance of my echo to like thematically try and
Like to
patch
assist,
this
like
dude
help
up?
you help hold
Yeah,
him while you're trying to like stabilize him
because
with a
I
medicine check?
also got shot, so I imagine my guy's just sitting here like, okay, yeah, and then like the echo's doing half the job.
So
Yeah,
if
thematically
you,
100%.
I was like, if you allow, so like once Sarabelle like gets me for those 6 points,
Mhm.
I stand up, sort of like slap myself on the shoulder, take a deep breath. That's 10 points of lay on hands because I'm
Hell
real
yeah.
hurt.
I like that. Just fucking slap. Ah, hype yourself up. I'm fucking good. Let's go again.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then bullets pop out of her.
Yeah, no, it's like I tap my, it's like okay, and I look at Sarabelle and go, "Are you good?"
Yeah, yeah, I'm quite hurt, but I think everybody's dead.
Okay. And I look over at Clyde and go, is he dead yet?
Fading fast.
But could you this since this was time sensitive, I need you to go ahead and roll the medicine check before Callie would have had time to get over there.
Sure. You know what I mean?
Unless anybody else is helping you. The only people near enough to be able to assist on this would have been Belle or Alistair.
It's 19 without any materials. Just trying to plug up holes.
Yeah, that's the 19. I believe it's a base DC of 10 to stabilize somebody. So you would have been able to you like tourniquet and you just like rip off chunks of like his shirt underneath his armor and you're like cramming it into wounds to stop the active blood flowing. But yeah, you would be able to stabilize them.
Over there with a box of Kleenex, just poking them into the holes.
Alistair will drag a chair out onto the front porch of the Sunrise, and in his other hand will have some manacles and hand it off to the Tabaxi fella he hasn't met yet. So he doesn't get any ideas with them pistols. Speaking of, Alistair's gonna weakly kick them away from his chair that is now on the porch as he sits down, holding his own holes.
So I run over, kind of like, well, once Mr. King has manacled him, I'm gonna flick him for 1 point of healing from my lay on hands.
Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and wake him up.
I guess because we don't know what the fuck is going on.
Well, it's a good point, madam. I assume we've actually met since I've been staying at the Sunrise for a little
Yeah.
bit.
I kind of actually avoid you because of your storytelling stuff for reasons, but then I grasp you on your shoulder and go, Mr. Dotry, I do hope that you take some time to yourself after this, and it's only 4 points of healing, but
It's double my hit points right now, so I'm good with that.
yeah, so that exhausts all of my lay on hands.
Nice.
And I'm gonna make my way into the saloon to check on the guy that I saw stumble, fall his face. Yeah.
Roll a quick medicine check for me.
Okay.
While she does that, DM, I don't know how long this whole process is going to take, so I'm just going to tell you what he's doing, and you can tell me when I'm back in the scene.
Sure.
He is fucking off to his cart, and he's going to, like, conceal the big rifle and purse gun somewhere in there.
Okay. Good. I actually need one moment because where you're approaching is relevant.
I was gonna ask a question.
Yeah.
What's going on, Sarabella?
Has John respond to my call?
Does John talk back?
No, but he
Okay.
responds when I
Right.
call for
Not
him.
much time had passed. Would you have given any other orders?
just to get the fuck out here and
Sorry,
Fucking-
I'm looking for John's stat block.
start helping.
Why is John's? Do you have John's stat block on your character sheet?
I don't believe so, but I can
Oh,
find
that's
it.
really whack. It should have been. Yeah, tell me what John's strength is real quick. Because I thought I'd be able to pull that up because it's supposed to be on your character sheet. Do you have any of your class features on here?
There should be. I remember seeing them.
Did you ever actually select the custom subclass?
I do believe I did.
Yeah, it says you do. Why does it not have? Okay, whatever. Well, that is something we'll work out later. I did not realize that was not working correctly, so my apologies, folks. What's John's strength, real fast, if you could tell me?
That is gonna.
Doesn't matter. Gotta roll the natural 20 for strength check.
Okay.
Because you tried to summon John, I think, literally the round that we were getting ready to end, if I recall. So this would have been kind of his first attempt. So, guys, as you are moving back, you're hustling back that way, the doors break open, and as far as you can tell, a cart just comes just rolling past you at speed.
Past?
Past you. Yeah, not like to attack you, just past you.
Nobody visible?
Roll a perception check.
Sure.
I sent it to you.
So my bonuses gotta pull up my
Fantastic.
character sheet real quick.
Did you just send me the stat block? Yes, you did. Thank you. Perfect. I will have to fix that. I don't know why it didn't work right.
That will be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Cerebel, could I actually get you to roll a stealth check for me?
18 plus. I think it's at least 2.
Okay.
Do.
As long as it's at least +2, that is status quo.
Plus 1.
+1. It's still really close. Guys, there's clearly no driver. And I'll say because it's just barreling past you, it's really weird. You think you see like for a moment you think you see like fingers near like the wheel, like near the axles, but then it's already gone past you.
Well, creepy and weird, but so is everything else in this fucking continent. So,
Very dangerous.
and his focus is on not being seen, not necessarily on seeing shit. So he's just kind of like weird, creeping on into conceal his guns in his cart.
You're going okay, so you're going to conceal the big rifle and the Derringer. Okay.
Once those are concealed and he makes his way out, he will be jogging back to the scene of the crime, as it
Yeah.
were.
To roll a stealth check for me, and it is going to take you like a minute or so to like really kind of conceal them. Back to Callie. What was that? What was that medicine check?
A 16.
16. He's dead.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to not botch because, quite frankly, you lean down and you look at him, and there is a significant hole in his chest. Right, it might not go all the way through, but it is like, yeah, a chunk was taken out of him when that you didn't see it exactly happen, but you saw the first skeleton walk through the saloon doors, followed by a shotgun.
Yeah, I think I heard it.
Yeah, you heard it
a
happen.
big
You can
fucking blast.
You can put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, that happened immediately. Like he came in, stumbled. You saw him dive through the doors, closely followed by a skeleton and then a shotgun blast.
21, or not 21, 22.
22, nicely hid.
Yeah.
Mr. Dotry.
I'm just talking to these guys out on the porch, I guess.
Okay.
Before we heal this guy back up or anything. I guess.
I believe he already has 1 hit point. He was given 1 hit point already.
Oh, did you already heal him?
I only gave him 1 hit point so that we would be able to ask him some questions. Enough to keep him alive, but if we needed to off him, we could do it quick.
Is he
Yes.
conscious with that 1 hit point?
Yeah, maybe conscious 1 hit point. And Belle, what are you doing?
After Alistair kicked the pistol, she would have reached down and scooped up the weapons. She
He
would have
does
called
also have a
inside.
shotgun holster,
So
like
she-
slung across his back. Yeah.
All guns removed.
So she'd have
from this
grabbed it.
person.
Yeah, she would have grabbed all of it, everything. And as she would have called into the saloon, Billy, send Jesse out here to get all these weapons off of these things. And she would have picked up the rest of them and looked over her shoulder and said, "Y'all get in here now.
Belle, high-low.
Come inside." Do what?
High,
Low?
low.
High.
Okay.
High. Always
Always.
high. Always
Hell
high.
yeah.
I've trained you all well. Okay. All right. None of your staff were hit.
And I'm assuming that per protocol, Daisy has gone for Sinclair.
Actually, speaking of, y'all just had a gunfight. It wasn't very long, but this is also not a giant, enormous town. It is about this time as y'all are trying to herd people back in. This dude is, they say he's conscious with 1 hit point, so he is still like woozy and is still very damaged. Y'all are getting ready. Fucking Geist is still getting his stuff hidden. Question: John does come whipping around the corner towards you, Sarabelle. And around that time, y'all hear galloping, as immediately coming up the street, back the way from that you came, are 2 pretty familiar figures to those who are from here. Clyde, you met one of them already, but they're the forms of old Sadie Thornton and Josiah O'Malley, both of the deputies.
As soon as this gentleman became awake,
Mhm.
Clyde kind of would have kind of snapped to both him and his echo, both putting a kind of ghostly and very real pistol underneath this guy's chin from 2 different angles, and he would just simply ask, "Were you there a week ago?"
Could you adjust
Oh,
microphone?
sorry about that.
Thank you. You're good.
And as soon as he woke up, him and his echo both kind of put a gun underneath the guy's chin and just immediately ask him, "Were you there a week ago at my farm? Were you the ones? Were you with them? Where are the rest of them?"
Roll an intimidation or persuasion check, your choice.
They're both at -1. 18 minus 1 for 17, though.
He looks unsteady, but he just kind of looks at you.
Hey, old Dami, you mind if I try to help you out a little bit here?
I'll interrupt just a second. Y'all, let's take this inside.
Oh,
We're
I
about to
assumed
have
we had
quite
already.
a bit. Okay,
I
gotcha,
assume we
gotcha.
got
Sorry.
him like on a table or something at this point.
Perfect.
Okay.
And I will, while y'all are doing that, I'm shushing everybody else out and just kind of closing things down to make us kind of secure inside.
I guess.
But like I said, he does just kind of look at you, coughs, blood spatter a bit. He goes, "Was I where?"
My farm. Last week.
I don't recall. About this time, galloping hooves, immediate dismount into boots on, planks, giant fuck off. Good gracious. Goliath and Deputy O'Malley, much more slender form of Deputy Thornton. The Yuan-Ti.
Yes, as soon as galloping hooves drew near, Clyde would let his Echo Knight poof, quickly fade away and kind of lean back from the gentleman.
As they come in, O'Malley, shotgun in hand. Thornton has both revolvers drawn.
Oh, I was just
So,
this.
Callie.
This is just Callie with her hands on her hips, going, "Y'all missed the party. We've already taken care of it."
They see him looking around, and they see and they see the guy that is currently having. I'm assuming you still have your revolver on him, Clyde.
Yep.
And Sadie just still glancing around. Must be quite the gunslinger to have done all this by himself. They're seeing just ruin throughout the bar from that initial salvo of bullets.
No, I give them the full rundown of that I was coming from the mining camp. I saw them storm the saloon, give them basically the layout of the ghostly cowboys, and I think Miss Bell would have, tidied up the poor man that's was calling for Sinclair that was shot, and just say he's one of Sinclair's men.
See O'Malley kind of towing him with a boot, looking at his face. Yeah, he was. Didn't leave too long ago either.
You know what he was doing.
Around this time, Geist would have returned. He would kind of come walking back up to the front as this conversation is going on. O'Malley's still looking at the guy. Thornton answers you, Alistair. I do believe that's none of your concern.
I got 3 holes in my chest that suggest differently, because whatever his business was came storming up to these steps and immediately rained bullets into my fucking side. I believe, ma'am, it is my business. It is all of our business at this point.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Holy. Yeah, +8 to these.
What was the name that they dropped that they said that he was a part of?
That who was a part of?
What name was just mentioned just now that you said they believed that he was one of his men?
They said that he was
Sinclair.
part of Sinclair.
Sinclair.
Who you know is Desmond Sinclair is the mayor of this town.
It's only a 12 total with a 4 on the dice.
This looks. And your efforts in defending the sunrise are greatly appreciated. I'm sure that Miss Bell will see you adequately rewarded. And if he so chooses, Mr. Sinclair may as well. But first, I recommend you get a good night's sleep. Seems like you need it.
Surely. So glad to have you on our side here, just in time to protect and serve.
She just smiles.
Bill
Miss-
will walk up to Sadie. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was about to address you, Belle. I was going to say, Miss Bell, do you have an overzealous landlord, or do you know this person at all? Talking about the guy on the table.
Do I know this person at all? Beyond that he's one of Sinclair's men?
The dead guy or the guy that is currently handcuffed?
Yes. Do I know either of them?
Dude, this handcuffed table. Yeah, he was staying in your saloon.
Okay.
This is one of the guys that Clyde was looking for, that Mr. King was looking for.
He was one of the ones that had
dead
left
guy?
last week.
Correct.
Oh.
No, not one of the dead guys.
Not somebody that died. This is the living dude. He was the one who he was one of the 3 who had been looking for bounty hunting work, and had seemed strangely pleased to realize that there was none to be found.
So I would recognize this guy.
Yes, you recognize.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Real quick, guys, what was that you were saying?
As he came walking up, and they're having this exchange, and they're discussing the gentleman on the table. He's going to take a quick look over the body to see if he sees either a visible timepiece or like the chain that hangs down from a pocket that indicates a timepiece or anything like that.
Roll a perception check for me.
I wish I was rolling like these on my attack rolls. 22. Again.
22? Not that you can see.
Heaves a sigh of relief and kind of walks in saying, is the excitement quite over?
Just about. I look over to Miss Bell and go, Miss Bell, should I escort our dear deputies outside of this fine establishment since we have, I think, pretty well handled our problem?
I'm gonna step outside with them. I'll escort them out myself. Thank you so much, Callie darling. If you will assist Billy in getting hot coffee or tea to everyone, and I will return in just a moment.
Yes, ma'am, I can do that.
And then I'm gonna turn to Sadie and Josiah and go, Sadie, Mr. Josiah, might I speak with you outside?
I don't see why not. And Sadie just kind of, if you would use those muscles for something useful, O'Malley. And he just kind of reaches out one-handed, grabs the dude, the manacled guy just by his collar and just hauls him up bodily and walks him out with you guys outside.
If you don't mind, Miss Bell, I'll say a prayer for the dead and dispose of the bodies.
That is quite all right with me, Miss Arabelle. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Of course, ma'am.
I'm sure that's the respectful thing to do.
Shockingly, that does appear to be the only casualty. Like, the room looks cleared out. You see a couple other bits of blood. It doesn't look like anybody got caught by anything fatal who had still been in the bar, and it definitely cleared the fuck out.
So as we go outside, I'm just going to ask Miss Sadie, Mr. Josiah, I would appreciate any information that you could share with me ahead of course, I will be requesting an audience for Mr. Sinclair first thing in the morning, as per usual, so that he can instruct me and we can collaborate on repairs to come. In the meantime, you know I like to keep my patrons safe. It's what I pride myself on. If I could avail you of any information.
She just kind of looks at the guy. And actually, give her a roll. I'll give him a roll too. Okay. They just both look at you and, what was he doing when he was still in town? Looking at you.
Are we talking about the
manacled
guy
guy. They both looked at him, looked at you, and then O'Malley asked what he had been doing when he was in town. They both clearly remember that he had been here and had stayed at the Sunrise.
So wait, I'm confused. I think I mixed up. So I was thinking the manacled guy was the guy standing in front of the window that I was not supposed to shoot, that had been asleep.
That's him. Yep.
That's him. Okay.
That's the guy that
the
you
guy who
did attempt to execute, but he did not quite die.
Okay. And the person who came running down the street that said false
DED dead.
That guy is DED dead. Okay, I had him mixed up. Sorry, my apologies. When he stayed here last week, he and several friends, they had said that they were looking for bounty work, but they sure did seem pleased when they didn't find any. They tried to gamble in my establishment, but you know how that goes. I sent them directly over to the Black Diamond, as I always do. I believe they may have caused some trouble over there. I'm not sure, but they certainly did leave in a hurry. I was not excited to see him return, sir.
I think that's all you can give us for now. She just kind of glances back into the Sunrise, like in the direction of the body, and just, they appear to have made some work of a party most valuable. I'm sure we will speak to you again soon. The sheriff will have questions for him. No insight check needed. Sinclair will have questions for him.
Okay.
That dude is not
Absolutely.
going to the sheriff's office.
He is not. He is not. Shall I send the body of your dear departed, Mr. Sinclair's dear departed employee? Shall I send it over to Miss Ramsey, Miss Delilah Ramsey, the doctor's office for storage? Or what would Mr. Sinclair like me to do with his dearly departed employee?
I do not like to assume, but I figure he will probably find his way to Mr. Buchanan before the night is out. Who you know is Sinclair's mage.
Okay. Indeed. All right, I appreciate that guidance and insight. As you know, as long as I have been here, y'all have been here longer, and I always appreciate your guidance in the ways of the town. We will make him appropriately comfortable while we await any new messages or instructions.
We will send someone quickly to collect.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And do stop by for breakfast in the morning so I can give you my great thanks.
Glances at O'Malley. He just kind of shrugs. We may very well. Good night, Miss Bell.
Good night.
They walk back their horses. Dude just cross the front of O'Malley's horse. Mount up. Cantering off into the night.
While this conversation is happening, I'd like to do a good old second win.
Surely.
I will also heal myself.
Oh, where you're going to get attacked again or something?
Oh, you know, I thought I was safe in the middle of the night in the saloon, so.
At the sunrise of all places.
But they didn't take this gentleman with them?
They
No,
didn't
they
take the dead guy.
No, the
They
dead
took
guy is dead. He is in the saloon.
Yep.
The guy with the 1 hit point is the one who got taken by the deputies.
Yeah, the deputies took y'all's assailant with them. The dead guy has been left there to be collected.
Sarah Bell is currently head bent over the body, quietly praying, and then afterwards would try to move the body to the cart.
To John?
Mm-hmm.
Callie puts a hand on the shoulder of the dead guy and go, Miss Sarah Bell, I do believe we have some folks coming to collect this fine gentleman. I would more than be happy to hold vigil until that happens. Mostly, I would like to stare at this guy's face to see if I remember him, because I am one of Sinclair's people. So have I worked with him? Have
With who? I'm sorry, specify.
the dead dude.
Oh,
My
with
dead
that guy?
friend.
This I feel like is totally chance. High low.
I'm gonna go with low because
Sacrilege.
not sacrilege.
Wow. I was giving a 50-50 chance. 51.
Damn.
Callie keeps it spicy.
Always I.
Church is always high. You don't think you've never worked with this guy personally before. Maybe he's new, or maybe you know that for the most part, like the Sinclair's like men, people that are actually members of his gang are kind of sprinkled throughout the town doing different like legitimate jobs.
Right.
So it's entirely possible that you just never worked with this guy before, or he may have just been looking for, Sinclair the mayor. Seems probably unlikely, but possible.
For sure.
When Belle comes back in from talking to them, she's gonna quietly, slowly, just everything's just well measured and gracious, turn around, and what most people don't notice is there's a really heavy oilcloth tarp that hangs above the door, the swinging doors, and she's gonna like unhook them, and it's gonna like drop down, and essentially she's gonna like so it essentially seals the front door, right? Or it closes it for normally in case of rain or what have you. And she's gonna turn around and go, "We don't have much time. I don't know what in the hell is going on here. Mr. Alistair, I believe you said something about being able to speak with someone who's dead."
Oh no, madam. That is not within my repertoire.
Right.
As I can speak with the living quite well, but the dead are beyond me, at least most of them.
Anyone?
Unfortunately
No.
not, ma'am.
However,
All right.
maybe we can speak to the living. Mr. I'm sorry, I did not get your name. And he raises his hands up to you, Tabaxi fella.
I'm a little fella. I'm just kind of off to the side, angrily reloading my guns. Okay.
Mr.
King.
Mr. King. Now, I have lost a lot of blood, so it may be the hallucination setting in already, but I do believe I recognize a flash of recognition in your eyes talking to that gentleman there.
Yep. He came by my house, farm, ranch. We could go.
Bit quiet, kid.
What did he do there?
Stole my wife after shooting her and killed my son.
Oh,
I am truly sorry to hear that.
Not as sorry as he's gonna be.
Damn, Mr. King, I could have just killed him. Wish you would let me know.
There's 3 of them. That's the only one. You gotta find out where the other 2 are. Or I do. DM, can I have a quick retrospective perception check? Did those folks seem like they jumped out of bed to come deal with this matter? Or they seem disheveled? Or like they might have just been on a night shift or something?
Roll a perception check.
At 11.
11? Not quite sure.
They could just be slovenly. Who knows?
They might be.
Callie, I did want to point out when you had said that somebody else was coming to deal with the body, you would have noticed a slight twitch in Sarabelle's smile. And just, okay.
I am at like basically half health at this point, so I'm just like, whatever, man.
Mr. King, do you have any idea why he would approach this place, this establishment? Why he would rain hell down onto the front windows, or that gentleman there?
Seems like a real bad man. No telling why he did it.
You have no clue on.
That's a 10 on the deception check. If you he's definitely lying or just being dry about the whole situation.
I got a +3 on my insight.
Yeah.
Natural 1.
Dude seems like a great judge of character.
That man's telling the truth.
While we're doing this, I'm going to expend my channel divinity so that I can get 1 spell slot back. And so that looks like me just touching the pearlescent thing on my collar and go, all right, man, gotta get something. And so I'll get that spell slot back, but then immediately go over to Mr. Daughtry and slap you with a Cure Wounds. Give me a sec.
Half casters on healer duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget. Pardon me. It's like,
Not pardoned.
What is the
She looks at that.
healing
Probably,
cure wounds?
Unseen. It's 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier, but sort of
Thank
unseen to
you.
everybody. When you go up and you touch my shoulder to cast that cure wounds, we just get a flash of jealousy from upstairs, looking down.
Oh, Agatha
from
went back
Agatha.
upstairs.
Yeah. Well, Agatha hasn't left from upstairs. She threw the shotgun.
She
to me
threw
from
it from upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh
She
shit!
fucking united that shorty to
I
me.
thought she got it out from like underneath her petticoats or something. Like I wasn't sure where it was supposed to come from.
So that's 8 points of healing. But
double
if
my HP.
yeah, but I think that it's definitely like literally a slap on the shoulder. Just all right, Mr. Daughtry, let's get you up a little bit.
Stop with the smacking, please. Thank you. I kindly appreciate it, madam, but the bullet holes do hurt.
Dear sir, you're not the one who went down. I got shot a lot.
I don't know what that means, or the mechanics of this game that you're supposedly playing. So.
When I say down, I mean I was down. I literally fell down. I wasn't.
You're welcome, by the way.
Dear sir, thank you so much for pulling me out of harm's way. I do appreciate it.
Well, Mr.
I was
Dumont,
hurt.
I did not
appreciate-
see you as a part of that scrap. Were you lurking in the shadows?
I was kindly hiding away where hopefully I would not catch a bullet. I leave the gunslinging to gunslingers, like yourself. As you thank me for assisting you with your wounds, I thank you for dispatching the assailants.
Well, I'm not a gunslinger. I'm just a doctor, and you know, I still took part of that. So
And
maybe in the
such
future,
bravery you showed.
maybe in the future you get your ass in and take a few shots.
Unlikely, but I will take your criticism into consideration.
Callie, you do know that him saying that he wasn't involved is a blatant lie.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing. Callie has her own secrets. She's not gonna say jack shit.
Roll to gaslight.
Roll the gaslight.
No, but
Oh.
I think I will. I'll give Miss Bell a look and look at everybody and go, all right, friends, let's try to take advantage of the rest of the evening. I am sure that our good friends of the deputies and the sheriff are going to come around to chat with us. So let's all try to get some rest, don't you think? And I look at Miss Bell specifically like, you and I are not going to go to bed yet, but let's get everybody into their rooms.
I'll remain with the body until the proper people arrive. I'd hate for something unbecoming to happen to it while y'all are busy.
I'm gonna do an insight check on you. I do not.
The vibes are off.
It's an 18 on an insight.
She really wanted to bury the body and have some time alone with it. Not in a weird way, you freaks.
You're the one that said it.
I'm so glad to look around the Skype call and see several other faces doing the besides me.
Ian, what time is it, give or take? Is there like a old clock on the wall?
The old clock. I mean, the attack came shortly after midnight, and then it was over in less than a minute of just constant gunfire and chaos. I'd say by this time, with the deputies coming, chatting with you guys for a minute or so, and then leaving, I'd say it's probably getting close on to like 12:45.
Very well, that is excellent idea. Just with a nod, he will walk off to his room, where he will be like
nightgown.
pushing like a side table in front of the door or something along those lines.
And I'd say at this point, some of the wait staff and a couple of the doves would have like come back out to like
They are all
there was
kind of
gunfire now.
huddling by the bar
Yeah.
at best. They are
Okay.
shaken. Like y'all have had some scraps and even some shootouts. This is far and away worse than anything that's ever happened before.
So I'm gonna line them all up at the bar, have Billy give everybody like a double shot of whiskey, right? Like, reassuring, soothing, everything, and sending them onto bed and letting them know that, everything's fine now. We'll be good. We'll talk about it more tomorrow, as Callie is giving her, she and I are making the eye contact, but as she's sending everybody off to bed. I'm gonna turn to Sarah Bell. Oh, Sarah Bell, one of Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Sinclair's men is going to be coming. If you wish, you may remain awake out in here in the room for just a little bit longer, but I do ask that you refrain from making any rearrangements. Mr. Sinclair's man will be very quite particular about the condition of the body.
As you wish, ma'am.
Right. Miss Callie, would you like to accompany me outside? I believe I'd like to stroll around the street and around the premises to make sure we have collected all the weapons from everyone that was here.
Of course, ma'am. I like reload my guns and then also bring out my tower shield. I'm just like, or like a tower shield that's like in the like side room.
Mm-hmm. There's also the tower shield that guy left. So
Yeah,
because they only collected him, they didn't gather all of his effects.
but it's just like, I don't know. I'm rearming myself. But Jones, it sound like you were gonna say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do remember my cart may have caused some damage as it was leaving the place it was stored. I apologize for that. It was in his intentions to defend me and those I find friendly. I can pay for any damages that's caused.
I'm sure your driver
Well,
would
thank
want to
you.
come in and grab a shot as well. After all
Where-
of that.
Absolutely.
Where is
My-
John right now?
Out front.
Just out front, just hanging out.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Would John have driven around front while before everybody went back in?
Yeah, he would have. The
Can I get
only
a round
order.
of perception checks from everyone else?
The only
besides
order he
guys?
got was get your ass out here.
That's
15,
21.
21,
14.
dirty 20, 14. Miss Bell?
13.
14. Alistair and Bell. The cart came pulling around. Y'all saw there was no driver, but other than that, it just seemed almost like a self-driving cart, which is odd, but magic can do some crazy stuff. And I had a 21 and a 20. For my. Actually, I did it before, but I think that's that's unfair. I want to allow Sarah Bell. What would they have seen? Keeping in mind the stealth check you rolled was a 19, with a 20 and a 21. What do they notice that is unordinary about John?
Well, as John travels forward, there is a very loud creaking sound, as well as the wheels. Quite literally, if you see my hand, have a hand that holds onto them and turns as the wheels turn. And there is some would say an unnecessary amount of leathers on the cart.
Okay, that is what
Like a
you two
pile
spot.
of
That seems
leathers?
off.
Or,
No, all over it.
Oh, like it's like leather seats, leather. It's just covered.
No,
in
it's
leather.
like somebody took like a leather, like the skin of an animal, and just placed it over things that are on the cart.
So there's no visible wood aside from the wheels.
Mhm.
So our 14s didn't notice that. Y'all weren't paying close enough attention. It's late. Y'all just had, it was a very busy evening. But our 20s and 21s, that's what y'all see about the cart.
There's also a lot of doors.
Also a lot of doors. So this is more of a carriage than a cart.
Callie's
So Bill would
physically.
just echo. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's just like this is the face of the.
Belle didn't notice, so she's just gonna echo Alistair's comment. Absolutely, please. I did not realize you had your driver here. Please invite your driver inside to have a drink and settle their nerves.
Oh, that's fine. It's me. I'm the driver of my cart. And she'll just kind of yell in the direction of the front door. John, just go back to where you were.
Just
The strangest
creaking
thing she's
fades.
seen tonight. So
Yeah, there were ghost cowboys shooting up your saloon like not 30 minutes ago. So
not the strangest thing she's seen tonight. Just put it in the middle crock pot and just like, thank you for your forthrightness, Miss Sarah Bell. We will settle it. We will make arrangements tomorrow.
Of course, ma'am.
Thank you, darling. Callie, darling, let's go outside.
Yeah, I follow. Rifle, like just ready.
Wandering around picking up weapons. So, darling, what did you see? What did you notice?
Well, Miss Bell, I was coming from Sinclair's house after the task that I was issued, and they came barreling down the road like a bat out of hell, following Sinclair's man into the saloon. I didn't recognize anybody, but it's very clear that something is awry.
What did you notice about our guests? While I am quite grateful for their assistance, I don't believe we would have made it without them. There seem to be some interesting aspects to our previously or heretofore, rather, dare I say, boring or average guests.
Bell,
I talk.
quick ask of Bell. Bell, could you roll me a d20 plus your wisdom modifier?
Okay. That's 19 on the dice. Plus 2, so that's 21.
21. It dawns on you as you guys are, as you're chatting with Callie. It's been kind of eating at you, because you were, the dead guy looked very familiar. You weren't sure from where. Dawns on you about this time that he was a member of the caravan that left most recently.
The one that took the
That Genevieve was part of as well.
that Genevieve was part of.
Mhm. Continue. Sorry.
She's just gonna there'll be like a little bit of a stutter step, and she'll continue on. But tell me, as I was confined to the front of the saloon, I did not get to see much, but there did seem to be some interesting things going on with our companion.
Well, I do have to say that Mr. Daughtry did prove to be quite useful, aside from poking in everybody's business, so that was great. The little cat fella, Mr. King, did some mighty fine gun work, so he might be someone that you'd be interested in employing just as a extra hand. I didn't get to see much of Miss Sarah, aside from her bringing me up from Oblivion. And the new fella, the professor, I think that he's been referred to, not too shady with or shoddy with a gun himself, but we shall keep that just between you and I, shall we?
Of course.
But and I kind of shrug my shoulders and go, Lord love the deputies. Sinclair surely trusts them, but man alive, are they useless.
I must say, they were quite slow this evening. A little bit behind.
Always slow on the uptake, Miss Bell. Yeah, I do believe that we have I like just checking, doing a, perimeter check, making sure that everybody's all the, with you. Do we see anything amiss? Like how much damage is done?
You're trying to like walk around the entirety of the saloon, or you're just kind of checking out the front area where bullets got shot through windows and stuff?
I'm just trying to get all the weapons. Yeah, from the felled
that's
bodies.
Easy. Yeah, gathering the weapons is easy enough to do. I mean, it comes out to
anything else that looks interesting.
There's not much that's interesting. Weapons wise, it is a grand total of, I believe that should be 4 revolvers, 2 rifles, 2 shotguns. Because the revolver and shotgun had already been collected off of the living gentleman.
I do want to actually do a full perimeter check, though, since it is part of my job, I think, to keep the saloon safe. So
sure, roll a perception check.
Great. Perception.
I would like to talk to Mr. King and Sarah while they're out talking.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, keep that number in mind as you're walking the outside, cutting back inside to you 3.
Yeah, I think Alistair's gonna hand a glass of whiskey over to you, Mr. King. I don't know if you take it or not. He sort of grabs them off the bar, keeping one for himself.
He'll leave it sitting there. I'll just kind of look at it and then look back to you and not say a word.
If you're worried about what's in it, maybe what I gave the other guy, trust me, that's just a one-time deal. No worries there. Mr. King, you did seem like you noticed the fella. Do you think you know this dead fella here?
I've never seen him before.
Miss Von Gullet, you've been over there a minute now. Anything of note in his pockets? He may have been chased for something that he stole or took from them.
Sarah Bell does not respond. She's hunched over the body, just kind of enraptured. Specifically, she would be looking for any signs of disease. But for people outside, it just...
How thorough are you being?
I mean, like, looking at the exposed skin, she would, like, unbutton his shirt and look at his chest.
Hello.
Hi.
Do with this information what you will, and where you found it, you find some evidence of minor venereal disease. That's about it.
Oh, no, this is going to be weird then. Oh, no. Yeah, Sarah Bell is just going to... I'm sorry. What was your question?
In his pockets, Miss Von Gullet, not necessarily that close, but is there anything that may point to why he's being chased down? It seems like Mr. King here has a keen interest in finding out more about these fellas.
She reaches her hands in his pockets and checks for anything of
Roll an investigation check.
No. All right, tiny dice. You've
Can I
never
assist
failed
her?
me.
Sure. Roll advantage.
Ducky
roll 2
dice.
separately. I don't care.
Do you want to roll? Do you want to roll, Jones? Because you know I roll bad. Or do you
Sure,
believe
I'll-
in me?
No, I'll roll my own. Seeing as where one of your hands are right now, I think
Oh.
my mind's a little bit more focused.
Yep.
Oh, I got a 10 though.
While the two of them are doing that, King Clyde is going to slip back upstairs and check on Turnip and bring her out of the room, make sure she's all right.
She's fine. Seems like not nearly as freaked out as like normal dogs should be, but I mean that
Right.
it doesn't surprise you. It doesn't come as
Right.
a surprise to you. She is physically fine though, unharmed.
While she's investigating, she would grab a sample. Just like a swab.
Are you trying to be stealthy about that at all, or
No.
No, okay. You see that. Alistair.
Sample? What do you mean by a sample?
Like a swab of contaminated area.
Be it for me to sour somebody's milk, I suppose. What does a 13 give me there, DM?
Oh my goodness.
All Alistair's doing, aside from staying away from that, is checking pockets of anything. Like maybe this guy stashed something in his vest while he was running away. Like I'm thinking this guy stole something and that's why he was being chased down. That's my current thought process.
In his pockets is 6 coppers, 1 silver, and 1 gold.
Hold up. Hold that. 6 coppers and what?
1 silver and 1 gold. He was kind of
Okay.
broke.
That's
Not a bunch. He had a little bit of money. Maybe who knows? Maybe he was gambling. Aside from that, let's roll this. He had a revolver himself, which seemed to have 3 cartridges left in it, so 3 bullets in the revolver and 7 spares. So he only had 7 shots left. I will say there's clearly evidence, like this was a guy that clearly armed, like he had a belt with cartridges, like spot places to have cartridges put, largely empty, and like I said, clearly the gun had been fired. So 10 bullets total along with the revolver.
Alistair will clearly offer that out to Mr. King or to Cerebel. I'm not much of a precision type.
She'll pat her shotgun.
Please watch
Neither
your
am
hands
I.
until you wash them, ma'am, please.
Oh,
bad.
don't, it'll be fine.
Please, madam. I've done many things in my lifetime, and I like to consider myself fairly well traveled, but I am not that well traveled, not yet, at least.
At this point, you didn't hear her. Agatha, from over your shoulder, Alistair, produces a handkerchief and kind of holds it out.
Thank you, my starshine. Here you are, Miss Van
course.
Gullet.
Ah, thank you.
And Mr. King, what was that you said there, my friend?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Did you come back downstairs after going up and getting Turnip?
Came back upstairs.
Came back
brought
down
Turnip
with Turnip.
downstairs and is
Dog.
watching.
Just watching. So yeah, revolver, some bullets, a little bit of money, and not much else.
I suppose Alistair does offer the bullets
And the gun.
and the gun.
Free revolver.
King would just shake his head. I'm just a farmer.
Well, you're quite proficient at killing for a farmer.
Can I get a Okay, she just said that in front of me. I was going to say, can I get a perception check to notice that there was literal bullets raining from the heavens on top of these guys?
That's up to you. Roll it if you want.
Yeah.
I will say it's probably not very hard. Even if you didn't know if it was from the
I'll roll it
heavens.
for the shadow, not the bullets themselves, to see if I notice
Okay.
the shadow.
Okay.
I mean, the shadow did jump down right.
And
near
the shadow,
was also
the
at
shadow
4 hit
was
points.
inside, assisting with what was the beginnings of an interrogation, for
right.
everybody in the party
Okay.
to have seen.
All right.
Right, and the shadow did look like Clyde, though,
Mhm.
with
Sure.
a hat and different clothes and armored
Right.
like underlayer to it and stuff.
Yeah. like an alternate Clyde. Alternate.
Violence, Clyde.
Very much.
Y'all don't know Clyde. Y'all know Mr. King.
Mr. King, far be it from me to press someone for their dark secrets. But if you wish to find those that have harmed you and yours, it may be relevant.
What do you want to know?
Well, if you know why they came for your family, perhaps we can deduce why they came here to this establishment. And he's just going to put the gun on the table beside you with the bullets.
Still continuing to be a kitty cat of few words, he'll just say succinctly, "Wasn't always a farmer, neither was she." Had a bad past. Caught up to us. Looking for a bounty. Could have been me, could have been her.
I see, so these are bounty hunters then.
If that's what they were, that's what they came to my farm for.
But bounty hunters usually don't kill children for no good reason.
King kind of does the cat freeze thing, but not for like danger, just a matter of like, no, that's not something he wants to talk about right now. It's very clearly no insight check needed. Like, no, we're not just kind of not going down that avenue.
I do apologize if I overstep.
You want to find these guys?
Yeah, I'm about to go talk to this gentleman. Maybe once things calm down a little bit.
Very
There's
well.
Two more. Dragonborn. Bugbear or some other furry type. It was dark.
You sound familiar from the past 2 or 3 weeks I've been in Crystal Grit.
I keep forgetting
from what
you've been there so long.
From what I understand, all three of them were at the sunset.
Yeah, all sunrise. Yeah,
Sunrise,
all of them had
good.
been at the sunrise. So I mean, D20 plus wisdom to see if you remember them.
Okay. Because if they looked interesting, I may have talked to them. 14 plus 2 for a 16 total. If it's just wisdom.
You recall this group. It was similar to. They were pretty adamant about they were there traveling if you had kind of, I assume you kind of chat them up, see what they were up to, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
See why they were in town, etc. They pretty, all three of them pretty sharply towed the party line of that they were there, traveling to the more out there towns that were not quite close enough to the rest of civilization and were maybe preyed upon in the hopes of finding some bounties.
Definitely bounty hunters from what I remember of them. Is the timeline from what I'm remembering when I met them in town, was that before or after they killed Mr. King's family? Before. So they were in at the sunrise and then they rode off. Okay, so this was relatively recent when this happened. Oh,
Correct.
Shit. Okay. You have just lost your family, like literally last week.
Yeah,
Tons
correct.
of time to process that. Awesome.
Yeah. He literally went from his farm, walked here, or rode here. I can't remember what you said, but
Gotcha.
came
Turnip.
straight here.
Turnip is my dog. And
Rode the dog.
Okay.
Heard this when I came back in. Would I have heard this conversation?
Roll a perception check.
Dang damn it.
I love getting make people roll dice. This is the
I'm
best
good
thing.
at these.
You should be very good at
Good.
perception. You're a ranger.
Right?
Receptive.
I'm not good at rolling.
Me neither. It must be genetic.
Clearly,
Same.
only an 11.
that you can't blame on my on like our genetics. Like, what was the total? I'm sorry.
11.
11. They were talking, but you're in your thoughts. The specific. I'll say you came in kind of at the tail end of it, that perception check. It was more of how early you came into it. It's not like it was in hushed tones. But so you coming at the tail end of what was just said.
So just in enough time to hear Mr. Daughtry.
Yeah, they were definitely
The
definitely bounty
comment, you
hunters.
just lost your family. I'm so sorry.
I don't know if
that was out of character.
That
Sorry.
was out of
Oh,
character.
that was
that
Alex.
was
Okay.
Jones.
Jonesy putting together the fucking him losing
Okay,
his family
gotcha,
a week ago.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the last thing you would have heard me say is they were definitely bounty hunters from what I spoke to them on. I'm trying to remember any more details. They were rather boring. I'm sorry, my dear friend. Perhaps it is
Yep.
best we get some sleep. Lots of intrigue to look into tomorrow morning, if you don't mind me tagging along.
Absolutely. More than I'll be fine.
Mr. King, I know you said you made clear you do not wish to conversate about what happened to your family, but if I may, I would like to offer my assistance as well in bringing the individuals to the fate that they deserve.
With as all the charisma that he has, he just grunts at you. Yeah.
You had negative
it will
charisma,
be.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just like, okay, you fucking weirdo over there fondling dead bodies. Okay. Like,
Belle came in at the end and it's like sat down and is petting Turnip, and like she hears what Sarah Bell says, and she doesn't want to be insensitive because clearly a conversation's been had. So she kind of looks over Mr. King over the top of his head at Mr. Daughtry, kind of cocks an eyebrow like, maybe you can tell me later, and goes back to petting Turnip.
I think at this point, Alistair stands up, getting ready to go to bed, but before he does, Agatha slides him like a little tincture of sorts. And if you'll allow me to do this, DM, I want to hand it off to Mr. King. Maybe of some consolation, at least focus your mind up for a little bit. And it's like a charm person in a bottle. Technically, it would strictly be for like, here, go take this in your room and raise your endorphins for a little bit. It's like fucking opium. He's like, here, go cope.
go. A charm person in the bottle.
I'll allow it.
Do I have to accept the charm person?
I'm gonna say the spell slot is expended.
Okay.
And basically it will only take effect. It's basically one of those, if you so choose, it will take effect.
He hasn't touched that drink, and he already stated that he was going to go talk to them. He did not. Yeah, he was going to go talk to them once things calm down a little bit.
I thought you were talking about tomorrow morning. I thought that's when we were all going.
He's a gentleman that probably keeps things a little open-ended in the way that he speaks.
Gotcha.
Okay.
He'll accept it as a form of placation, but he's probably not going to drink it as the whiskey stayed there. I don't know what type of past Mr. Alistair has had, but he definitely seems like an individual who, for whatever killing he's done, is professional enough to not imbibe in any type of stuff while he's focused and at task. And for all of the emotion that might be bubbling underneath the surface, he seems steady as a rock in the face of lots of shooting and being shot himself.
I will say, as I hand that off to you, you've probably seen Alistair drink 4 shots of whiskey, like four like double shots of whiskey, completely unfazed by it.
Cool.
Not moving, not anything by it. But after that, I'll hold my hand up to you, Sarah Bell. You can keep that handkerchief. I'm going to take my leave for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I will see you in the morning. I will depart.
Good night, Mr. Daughtry, Miss Agatha.
And unless my services are needed, I'd like to go check on my card and make sure it was not damaged in its escape attempt.
Why, of course, darling. And make sure you get your rest as well.
Of course.
Yeah, Clyde will just hang out there until he sees Sarah leave the bar and then follow after her with Turnip.
Okay, so Callie, so just make sure everything's in order. Alistair and Geist have both gone to bed. Belle and Callie are both currently in the bar, up near the front, in kind of in the front room in the actual bar area still. Sarah Belle is going outside to check on John, and Clyde is following her out.
Yeah, as
With
in
her.
like, I'm like, he's not sneaking or anything. He's walking outside with
walking
her with
outside.
his dog.
Okay, cool.
DM, you had me roll a perception check.
Correct.
or,
Yes, when you were doing that's right. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I just
So, but that was a dirty 20, correct?
correct.
So I will say with a perception check, doing a 20 being pretty detailed, doing that slow roundabout, you see nobody else lurking anywhere outside. You do kind of get some glimpses of, as things have died down, you see a few faces and windows of people kind of peering out towards the sunrise in some of the houses that are kind of along the way. Yeah, things aren't still going on there, so it looks like they're just kind of looking to see what they can see, but most of them seeing you, they quickly fade back into their own homes.
It's like it's hard not to notice who I am. My hair is
Mhm.
like flaming red, like
Right.
So it's and I have a gun, and I'm like,
You get a few kind of like hand raises in return. Like they're not scared of you, but it's almost in a
No.
like they've now seen evidence of who won, and that
Mhm.
like at least some of you, like the denizens, like they saw the deputy and stuff come off and only take one person back. So
yeah. No, I think part of it is that Kelly is also like our neighbors. Like Miss Bell and I do try to like take care of our neighbors to a certain extent, because good neighbors are happy neighbors, and yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So you see no, as far as you can tell, no signs of further attack that is imminent.
I report that back to Miss Bell and go, Miss Bell, I am mighty hurt. I would love to take my leave if you so have it.
Absolutely, darling. You go get your rest. I'll wait here on Mr. Buchanan to arrive. I'll see you in the morning, dear.
Callie going to bed, and Belle, you're staying in here. In the bar
Once
area.
once I open the door, I guess Mr. Buchanan's supposed to be fetching the body, right?
Somebody's supposed to be fetching the body.
Somebody's supposed to be fetching it, yeah. So I'm waiting for he's one of Sinclair's guys. I'm not gonna be casual about that or careless.
Okay, so we'll leave you there as Sarah Belle and Clyde go out the front. Sarah Belle, I assume you sent John back around towards the stable area.
Yep.
The kind of shed. All right. You're going back there to check on John. I will say pretty easily, John looks uninjured, unharmed. Like I said, natural 20 on the strength check to bust through, so totally fine. Like, just like, wow! Just busted through those doors like they weren't even there. Very determined cart.
She probably still fuss over him for a bit.
Yeah.
Just make small talk.
Oh, I mean,
So creepy.
Clyde's following you out there and just with his dog, I guess, watches you start to talk with this very, very weird cart.
Yeah, like I said, you saw the hands. You saw there were
Right.
hands basically acting as axles.
Right. And after a moment, Clyde will just say, "Necromancer, then?"
I don't know what you mean, but I don't practice the necrotic arts?
You got a self-driving cart that's wheeled with hands.
Oh, you noticed that then?
Yeah.
Well, what would you like to know?
Answering my question
Well, I gave you the answer to the first one,
seemed like a lie.
but it isn't. I don't practice the necrotic arts. I am an artiste of the flesh, but there is no living soul, I guess, is what I'm not. Again, I don't know too much about the necromancy. Do they take a soul and put it into a new body, or?
He's got round sunglasses. You can't really ever see his eyes.
He's wearing his sunglasses.
Yeah, he never takes his sunglasses off.
Disadvantage on any perception check at night. What the hell?
And you can definitely tell his eyebrows kind of like furrow down when you talk about souls. And
Clyde, can you roll like an Arcana check for me real quick?
that's a 7.
A 7. Okay, yeah,
That tracks.
that sounds sus. I was gonna say, it was like, have you heard of like flesh golems or anything? But you're like, no. that is foreign to you.
He's lived with someone that could do things like that for over a decade. Or yeah. So
Would you like to, I guess, meet my cart? He don't talk,
no.
but I can assure you, as far as I am aware, and I'm pretty well informed, this is not necromancy. I've not brought anybody back from the dead.
So them's just living hands right there.
Living in the sense that they're not decaying.
All right.
This is a hard sell.
You know anything about necromancy then?
I know it's typically bringing the dead back to life and I don't know, siphoning away their spirit or soul or life force, whatever they focus on, and I don't know, that type of nonsense. I've never been too interested in it.
DM, quick question. The
Yes,
type of spectral cowboys that attacked the saloon, were those the similar ones at Ranch? Or were they of a different variety? Okay,
No.
same kind?
Yep, same kind. Like I said, it seems like the ones you'd probably have seen other undead. It is that those type you haven't seen previously. They seemed almost like skeletons that had been lent some form of like id, like they had been granted the personality of spirits.
Okay.
But with the physical form of skeletons,
Gotcha.
to be able to handle objects and things.
Okay.
Now, if I'll be honest with you, my opinion of necromancy is she spits on the ground. Distaste. There's no joy in necromancy. You can't have joy from something that is undead. It's undeath. All the joy.
How long would something like that take? That many? A dozen? Crop them up. Fish them up. Make them...
That was 8 that had just attacked you guys.
Okay, 8. Nearly a dozen.
Again, I do not know about the necromantic arts. If I was to guess, I would say you need to kill 8 people, get the
It's something
components
generally
of-
done at once. You got to do some kind of ritual. Do it real quick like. How's it work?
If somebody's particularly powerful, you could do many things with Magic. You can make a cart.
All right. So you don't know shit then.
No.
Okay.
Again, my art is not necromancy.
Okay. He's gonna. Can I do would it be an insider perception check on Turnip to see how she is reacting to both this cart and to Miss Sarah here?
I would say this is like Turnip acts as kind of your insight.
Okay.
And Turnip is the vibe check machine.
Right.
The vibe check. What the dog doing? Insight.
Yeah. So
You got the
insight.
pistol.
Okay.
Sure.
It's cocked. That was almost a natural 20. Still pretty good. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. And clarify for me once more what kind of things set Turnip off?
I'm sorry. Repeat that.
What kind of things set Turnip off? What things do not pass the vibe check?
Things that killed her family or have kind of. I'm essentially saying like I don't trust this person at all. They're using some necromancy-esque type kind of shit, and they're being real vague about it. Does this person have any type of ties? Maybe loosely, like does this have like the same type of vibe with the people who just murder the rest of our family?
Oh no, I'd say probably Turnip probably doesn't seem like super tickled. Like, he's not over there just wagging her tail or anything, but she does not seem either incredibly frightened or hostile.
Okay.
Like, she may seem a little uneasy, but maybe she can smell the cart, but nothing seems to be like really setting her off.
All right. Okay, then. Well, good night to you and John.
Good night. Yeah. She looks over at John, and you don't hear anything. John says good night as well.
All right.
he just
all right.
poured back.
It just leaves.
All right. Are you just going back inside, or where are you going?
I'm just gonna take the dog for a walk.
It's gonna go for a walk. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
See whereabouts that sheriff's office might be. See
Sure.
how many lights might be on in that place, or how late they stay open.
All right. Sarah Belle, are you just going back inside, or what are you doing after?
No, she would stay out with John and pick some of the like wood splinters out of the cart from the door, and just say, "You almost got us in trouble again, John. Remember the last time you got in trouble? Wouldn't want that to happen again."
Cart noises. Because as far as I'm aware, John cannot respond to you, right? You can just give mental orders to John.
Nope. The
Okay.
closest thing he could do to respond is he has inside one of the flesh doors is a hand that he can use to mend himself.
Okay. Gross. But very well. But going to bed after that? Or are you just hanging out for a while?
Yeah, she'd go to bed after that.
Going back inside, Clyde, going on your walk. I'll say that Belle, probably in the next 20-ish minutes, at least, maybe probably closer to like 10 to 15, four people show up. All, none you recognize immediately because they are all wearing hats, bandanas up over their faces. You know these are, good gracious, you know that these are Sinclair's men. They're armed and armored, all of them, and this is like familiar to you. All of them at their belt, not kind of fairly prominently presented. All of them have daggers that are like sharply curved. and are all pretty and like shining, like very well polished sheaths. Recognizable to you, like these like normally they would travel more inconspicuously, but it would seem that the Talon gang is making a point of appearance, at least tonight. They come in, kind of nod at you silently, collect the body, and leave.
So just kind of deep breath, look around, kind of wrap her fingers on the bar for a minute, and then head to bed.
Clyde, you said you're making your way kind of towards the sheriff's office, right?
Yep.
Okay. As you're walking along, as you're kind of walking up, you do see a single light on in the sheriff's office. Not super bright, like maybe there's a lantern inside. And as you kind of walk up to take a look, see or to knock, whichever, that's where we'll go ahead and go on break. Okay.
Hey.
So we are going to take a quick bio break, refresh beverages, apparently make swift trips to the bathroom in some cases. But we'll be back here shortly, so I recommend you go ahead and do the same, but come right back because we'll be back for the next half of our session, so don't go anywhere on your computer. Bye! Point. Hello, everybody. We're back again after some brief maintenance was performed on my players for the second half of our Whispers in the Dark game. So we're going to get right into that. If you were not here at the start, brief rundown. Our party, our gunslingers, our daring doers, they finished off rapidly an attack committed mostly by some ghostly skeleton cowboy men and a living minder that seemed to be giving them orders. They managed to capture the living gentleman instead of killing him, and right as they were beginning to interrogate them, the couple of deputies showed up, asked very brief questions, and told them that they would get their answers when and if the mayor saw fit before collecting the living gentleman to be questioned by the sheriff. And going off into the night, some conversations were had, some information was given, shedding light on to Mr. King, or as he is known to the audience and everybody out of character, Clyde Kelly, the little kitty cat gunman, that he was very interested in this gentleman as he was one of the 3 people who had attacked his ranch, kidnapping his wife, murdering his son, and leaving himself for dead. And we're going to zoom back in here on Mr. Clyde Kelly as he approaches the sheriff's office tonight. A single flickering light to be seen from within. What you doing there, Mr. Kelly?
Well, seeing that there's a single light on, I will go maybe around the corner of whatever buildings nearby, turn up a quick command to sit right here, don't do anything, and
Absolutely.
Stealth on over to see if I can peek through a window.
Roll stealth check for me.
Sure. That is a 19 plus 6.
6. Very nice. So 25 total.
25 total. That
Soft
seems
little kitty cat.
so
Clyde wears
great.
shoes.
He does not.
Little kitty cat paws.
Can't fight with your claws if you got boots on your toes.
I suppose that is true. But going to take a peek in the window. Also roll a perception check for me. And what exactly are you looking for?
I'm looking to see who's on guard. If I can see, that's 7 on my perception check. It's real dark in here, I guess.
You are having a hard time, my boy. You flickering light. You can't see exactly who it is. Whoever it is has their back to your window, the window you're looking in at least. But you see somebody who seems to be kind of doing this at a desk that currently contains the lamp that is kind of giving the faltering light, the only faltering light in the room. So you see a silhouette kind of leaning forward. I guess you can't really see me, but doing like this maneuver, but seen from the back, so you can't really see who it is.
They just got like their elbow up on a desk.
Yeah, see like one elbow on the table, like resting. They're like seem to be kind of leaned slightly forward, just over a desk. You can see the other arm is in there, and it does seem to be moving some. You can't tell exactly what they're doing, but they are active. They're not like asleep.
Okay. Is that, from what I can tell, the only person in the room, or is there like a?
I'll say with a 7. That's all you can see.
All right. I will take a closer look.
Are you gonna try to sneak in?
Nope. I will manifest my echo inside.
Are you gonna switch places with it?
Not quite yet.
I don't think you can make perception checks from your echo's position. Can you? I don't think until like you can do stuff like actually inhabiting your echo's vision at level 10 or something.
Okay. In that case, I will swap places with it and be on stamp. Pause for a second, maybe take another look around the room, and see what I see.
Make another perception check for me.
So okay.
I assume you're trying to not manifest yourself in the individual's line of sight.
Yeah, the like darkest corner of the room.
Right.
kind of thing. That is a much better 15. 15.
Okay. So with a 15, you are able to pretty easily now from your different angle and being a little closer, not looking through the window like maybe the pane it wasn't perfect, so maybe it warped a little bit. But you are able to see that it is sat at the desk is Wyatt McCall, so the sheriff, the hobgoblin sheriff is sat there. Seems to be doing. He seems to be kind of has a pen in one hand, and seems to be kind of going over some papers. Stopping occasionally, will scribble something on there. Also, brief other look around the room. There are several cells in there. Jail cells. They are empty. There's nobody else in here besides McCall.
I'm out. I don't care about this stupid.
Blank out
sheriff.
and back.
Yeah.
Roll a retroactive insight check for me.
Sure. Oh, great. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I can roll amazing for the insight check, not the first perception check though. 21.
Retroactively, put in like a lot of things that were mentioned. You remember that dude came in asking for Sinclair. The both deputies said that y'all would get more information and stuff if Sinclair said so.
Right.
And you put together that when they said they were taking this guy to the sheriff, they were not taking him to the sheriff. They were taking him to Sinclair.
Cool. I guess I've lived in the area for quite some time, but I know Sinclair to be a shady fellow.
I'll say general information, kind of like what I've. I think I can't remember if I actually told you this, but I just meant to tell you this. Sinclair's only been here for about 5 years.
Okay.
He came into, he arrived and shortly thereafter became mayor of Crystal Grit somewhere about 5 years ago. And since then, that Crystal Grit has prospered. Like Crystal Grit had been it had not been very prosperous. It was part of one of the reasons that you and your wife chose to live in this area. Not a ton of people. Yeah. It was a mining area that never really seemed to take off. Like it was just mortality rates were too high for people to really settle in and for it to grow. But after Sinclair arrived, he seemed to impose some order on the mining operations, and it seemed to grow pretty rapidly in the last 5 years.
All right. And so I know he's got this, at least a couple of deputies that are going to be there at the time. Do I know if Sinclair probably has any family or anything like that live in the house with him?
Roll a perception check.
Sure.
This is.
Nice.
We do a lot of retroactive checks. I'm noticing in this campaign so far. You have no idea.
Okay.
I will say that you've rarely, if ever, actually seen Sinclair in all the times you've been here. So you are completely unsure.
All right. Well, I know he's got probably at least 3 hired guns in his pocket. Those being the law people. I will go retrieve Turnip and yeah. Knowing that sneaking into a jail cell and killing criminals is one thing, but going to the mayor's house, and that feels like somehow worse.
That's a step too far.
Yeah. There's one thing to have disregard for a law. There's another thing to have disregard for a law that's corrupted by possible organized crime. And Clyde knows better. So he's going to head back to the sunrise and sleep until just that.
All right. Anything else anybody would like to do tonight?
Just as a general reminder, since I'm in the Ladrin, I only have to trance. So I get my 4 hours of sleep, fresh, have all my stuff, and so I'm
Very
the
efficient
early
worker.
very efficient worker. I get all my stuff back, and I think I'm usually the first one up and moving before to take care of all the things for Miss Bell.
Being an elf in like American capitalist society would be an actual hell. I am now realizing. Can you imagine the kind of grief you would catch from like your managers? Like, you only have to sleep 4 hours. Why can't you come in to cover such and so's ship? It'd be awful. It would be
That's when you
the
set
worst
up
thing.
boundaries. You'd set boundaries.
That just popped into my head while you're talking about that. I was like, oh my god, that would be
100%.
so bad. Anyway, yeah, absolutely done.
So, but that's the only thing I wanted to point out, is that I only need 4 hours.
Yeah,
so.
you'd be up and about. I'd say probably like 5 a.m. Whereas everybody else is still schnoozing. At least until like 7, because I think minimum you have to sleep for 6 hours for a long rest. But yeah, easily enough. You guys all go rest for the night. Whatever thoughts may occupy your mind. And you awake at whatever times you so desire. I don't know how early or how late anybody's planning to sleep in. I know Callie is up and about after her 4 hours. Anybody else? Anything anybody's trying to do, I suppose.
Clyde's got those farmer hours, so he's, dark dawn.
Dark dawn. Hell yeah.
I would like, once everybody's slept and stuff, and I'm up and I've taken care of sort of the morning duties. I would love to sort of use some of my leverage, the little bit that I have, like since I work for Sinclair, to see if I can suss out anything related to the incident from the night before.
Okay. From where? Or from who, I suppose?
So I think like I get up, I do like my chores and stuff, and then I walk to Sinclair's house. And it's not an unusual thing. I, just make my rounds. I mean, just knock on the door to see if I could have an audience with the good mayor.
What time are you doing that?
Like 6:37 in the morning.
So we probably bump into each other then? Like, oh, because Clyde's not going to wait around. He's got goals.
I don't know. I'm walking out the front door. It's my house.
Okay.
I was just wandering over to the mayor's house at 7 a.m.
Stoop cat.
All right. So y'all are wandering over there. Anybody else have any particular early morning tasks they were wanting to accomplish?
Yeah,
Sarah
Sarah Bell, because we aren't all sleeping in the same area, is going to magically infuse her shotgun with repeating shot and her armor with
Oh dear God.
enhanced defense.
Oh,
Okay. That is horrifying.
just walks down clipping a drum to the bottom of the pump action.
Double barrel shotguns.
With the drum.
Worse. Yeah, it's somehow funkier looking. Hey, it's magic. It can look however Sarabelle wants it to look. I am curious, what do your infusions look like? Just out of curiosity.
So much like her sanctuary, it's kind of a miasmic aura that surrounds the weapon or armor, but with kind of like bright flashes of pink.
Interesting. It's really creepy, but cute. Glitter! Hell yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Sarabelle looking ready to clown. Wonderful. Guys, did you say you had anything that you were looking to do as an early morning activity?
The activity will be up early, but there's not a particular activity. Probably till after breakfast and a little bit of people watching. You already know the cues that he is keeping an eye out for and an ear out for while he is having breakfast. But around like 9, he probably will have something to do.
All right. So not doing it, having anything to do till 9 o'clock. Belle or Alistair, anything that you're looking to do? An early morning task?
Alistair wakes up at noon.
Hell yeah.
My boy's sleeping. All right. Belle, anything for you?
She would, though, let whichever one of the wait staff, probably Daisy's on door duty this morning.
Mm-hmm.
She would let Daisy know that there were several guests who were given a dispensation to have weapons inside last night, but please to make sure and collect them this morning because we don't want that to become a habit.
Surely. All right. Okay, so that being said, Callie and Clyde make their way to the mayor's house at 7 a.m.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's probably one of those things like you go to walk out the door and Clyde's just kind of 100 feet down the road already, walking slower with smaller. He's not in a super hurry. He's just walking with little legs,
Okay.
easy to catch up to.
Yeah, so I catch it and go, "Why, Mr. King, what are you doing up this early?"
Man didn't go to the sheriff. He went to the mayor's. Gonna go say good morning.
Oh, honey. There are a few things that you need to learn about Crystal Grit. No one ever goes to the sheriff.
Reckon he's still alive?
Depends on whether or not the sheriff got the information he needed. You're more than welcome to walk with me. I do think that you are pretty determined, it seems, to find this gentleman.
I know where this is at. I need to find the other two.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take a stroll down to see our fine mayor if you would like to accompany me.
Got no place better to be.
And yeah, I think silence until we get to the...
Clyde's not a super small talker.
Oh, and Callie isn't much either, so...
That has to do that thing when you're doing an escort mission or you're following somebody while you're talking to him in a video game where he has to sprint occasionally to catch back up. But yeah, and quiet, somber tone, like atmosphere as you guys make your way to the mayor's house, and externally, I mean, doesn't seem like anything beyond business as usual.
I walk up to the door. 3 quick raps. and cross my arms in front of my body, just waiting for the door to be answered.
Several beats of silence. Door opens enough for you to be greeted by the face of Sadie Thornton. Early morning to both of you.
Sadie, you and I both know you may be a deputy, but Mr. Sinclair gives me some of his more delicate conversations and activities. So let's not kid ourselves that I don't get to know what's going on, right?
You get to know what Mrs. Sinclair says you get to know.
Well, did you mention to him that I was the one who dispatched the event? Because
Perhaps.
if you neglected to provide that to him, I would like you to go and let him know while I wait here.
It may have been said
May?
that
Is that
you
yes?
and your she glances at Clyde, compatriots,
Concerned citizen.
concerned citizens, were to be summoned a bit later into the morning. Does that satisfy?
I shrug a shoulder and go, just remember, Sadie, who tends not to get afraid of things between you and I. And then just tip my hat to her and take Clyde's shoulder and go and direct him back to the sunrise.
Clyde, being direct, will just simply ask, "He's still alive?"
Of course.
Good.
Turning to leave, she, after that last comment, she is like, her hand that's not holding the door, she is clearly caressing one of her I was about to say the hilts, the one of her revolvers.
Yeah. Sadie, we know who's faster. And I literally, if I have to, I will physically take Mr. King with me, but we are leaving the porch. Going
Smile
back.
that never leaves her, like never makes it to her eyes, but doesn't say anything else.
Yeah, Clyde will go with her, and like after they're a few, maybe like 30 or 40 paces down away from the house, he just kind of goes, "I thought you were supposed to be on friendly terms with these folk. Why did that seem more like a pissing match?"
Mr. King, women tend to have a way of speaking to each other to make sure that we understand each other. And that's just
with guns.
and I say, Miss Thornton and I have had our disagreements on how to conduct ourselves in this town. So let's just say that Miss Sinclair appreciates my discretion and my I can't think of the word I want. Efficiency.
Y'all ever trade iron?
Y'all have never actually had a shootout.
Yeah. Not at that moment, because, like I said, things are done differently here in Crystal Grit, and I kind of like my position with Miss Bell and the family I've created at the Sunrise, so rather not lose that just yet.
This way of talking, she got anything to back it up?
Of course not.
I would say that is false, and you know it. So whether you say it anyway. that's
I
up
say
to
it
you.
anyways.
Okay. All right.
I mean, whether or not you read in between the lines, Clyde's asking you how easy it to kill all of those people if I need to get to this person.
Oh, I mean, like, if I'm like, Callie's just blowing smoke out of her ass, but like, I think the idea that like as we're going, I explained to you like, there's a reason, and like again, between the lines, there's a reason why Crystal Grit does not have crime. And it's
Yeah.
because it's taken care of.
Right. Yeah. I think I think by the fact that the criminal was taken to the mayor's house and not a jail cell, is enough of a representation of crime in Crystal Grit.
Right. Yeah. And then, I mean, this probably didn't take more than half hour, 45 minutes. So it's like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
So, time passes. I assume everybody's just kind of hanging out. One individual, so nothing until 9. Yeah, I say breakfast is served. That's entirely up to Miss Bell. This is her establishment. I actually don't. I wouldn't say whether it would still be running business as usual today. That's up to you guys. I would comment for it that relevant mostly to Miss Bell that like 8-ish, somewhere between like 8 and 9 o'clock. Some folks do start to trickle in, not as customers, but it seems like people have been sent to help clean up. There are some people that are bringing like a couple different carts have shown up. They've got some wood, they've got some woodworking tools, and people are starting to help clean things up. Patch up some wood, put boards over the windows, like smash out what remaining glass there is so it's not dangerous. Like start all that fun stuff.
Absolutely. Belle would have gotten up early and let like the rest of the employees sleep in so that she would have gotten a head start. But then as they wake up, everybody would have been enlisted and starting to clean up and make some repairs and everything, rearranging the room, right? So that it doesn't look like there are empty spaces where there were smashed tables or what have you, and just moving pictures to cover bullet holes and stuff like that because it's got to look respectable.
Absolutely. But there's the situation going on. I know Alistair's still sleeping. He's snoozing. You said you were going to be doing something around 9 o'clock, guys. 9 o'clock rolls around.
So 9 rolls around, and he hasn't been approached about the gun he had last night. So he is going to stroll out and make sure it's still there, make sure it's well hidden. Kind of under the cart, not taking it in quite yet.
Hard to hide, taking it in. Just get this under my coat here.
Yeah.
I've never seen this again.
But he is going to start perusing the town, probably till close to lunch. He's expecting, probably with his current objective, to probably have to be here for a few weeks at least. So he's going to start looking for like a hidey hole, like a place he could stash things, because he's like, I don't have a place to stash things, as was outlined by last night. I should fix that.
Roll an investigation check for me.
Sure. Not going to be crazy high with that dice roll. It'd be a 16.
16. You find a couple locations that nowhere that would be like, yes. No, like, this is an abandoned shack that I could definitely, hole up in if need be. But there are some spots that it looks like you find a couple different places that, maybe could stash some gear if you really needed to.
Yeah, it's more that, like, hide things he may have found. Or like a body if need be, or but if that gets found, it is continuing to try and liaise with people in stores and what is it the Black Diamond? Is that the other?
Black Diamond is the other saloon, yes.
Yeah, the Black Diamond stores. Just kind of keeping an eye out for the tells.
Surely. All right, doing that. So 10 o'clock is going to roll around. And Sheriff McCall comes walking in the sunrise. Nods to you, Callie. Oh, good morning, lass. I assume your employer is about.
She is, sir. Do you want me to take you to her?
Oh, I believe if her fine self and a few friends of yours are around at this time. Those who took part in last night's festivities.
Right. Yes, I can go and find those fine folks and get us situated.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I
assume everybody who is currently in Sunrise is fairly compliant. Don't be if you want to. You're asleep, Alistair, so somebody would have to come wake you up.
Mr. Daughtry, I need your presence.
Agatha immediately answers the door.
Hi, Miss Agatha.
Well, hello. Yes.
I do apologize for disturbing the rest that you and your companion are having, but we need Mr. Alistair for a chit-chat with the good sheriff.
Well, he is getting his well-earned rest. And she does kind of glance back over her shoulder. Door, not all the way opened up.
Right. I mean, and I actually, because I have no interest in, that entire situation, is, probably a solid 3 or 4 feet behind, away from the door. I knocked on the door and, physically provided, space, because I don't want anything to do with it. Just, I'm relaying the information.
Yeah. Just kind of over one shoulder, and unless, of course, you are feeling well enough, my dear.
I suppose, darling, go ahead and close the door back. I'll be down there in just a moment there, Miss Callie.
Yes.
Yeah, and as soon, you see me walking down the stairs,
Oh, out of there.
Yeah.
Eventually, Mr. Daughtry in his good time. I don't know how put together he is this morning. That's entirely up to you, Joe.
Literally always.
Always. Rest shirt. You don't know where he found an iron, but he must have. Come downstairs. And the sheriff. Well, seems count. You do appear to be missing one. Or was I misinformed? Was there no other member who participated last night? Maya.
It does appear that we are missing one, but I'm sure that he will be back. On a walkabout, I suppose. I think most of us are trying to clear our senses from what happened. And it's several of us got shot, and
Terrible thing, yes. We'll do best to I'll find him all along the way, or I'll go find him afterwards.
Moment, Sheriff. Hey, darling, go look and see if you can't find the professor somewhere. Let him know that his presence is requested if he is available.
Quite well, yes. He goes, oh, yes, ma'am. Of course. Trots out. Right. That will work just fine if we'll go ahead and start making our way and hopefully meet him there. starts walking for the ease of time. Mr. Professor, you are approached by a young man. Sir, Mr. Professor, sir.
Indeed, what can I do for you?
Sheriff was looking for you. I think they're was wanting everybody who mimes pistol fanning last
Oh.
night.
Excitement, yes. Of course. Are they over at the Sunrise?
I believe they've left already. They were making their way to the center of town. Where the mayor's house is. I could take you there if you want.
Please do. Before we leave,
Yeah.
do you have the time?
Yeah. It's probably some bit before 11. I imagine it's like that's a bit before, like 10:30. So.
Kinda
Why?
Smiles at him when he doesn't, or when he uses guesswork and just curious. Either way.
Takes you over there. You all converge. Round about the same time. McCall goes up. Raps on the door. This time around is answered by O'Malley after a few moments. Good. He opens the door, gestures for all of you to come in, and he just kind of does his head. McCall turns, walks away. I'll enter. The mayor's house, at least the foyer, not an opulent example. It has some padded seating, a few bits of artwork, but you don't see much evidence of anything that would really exemplify wealth. Very practical. Like it's well constructed. The wood is polished. There are not gaps between the boards. It's well constructed, but relatively plain. Takes you up a bit of stairs, down a hall, and into the antechamber of a kind of an office area. And y'all have heard voices relatively muted as you kind of come up. But as you enter this room that, like I said, is a bit of like an antechamber to an office space, the voices now become legible, as well as you can see them. The sources, that is. Sadie, Thornton, you can see in the corner of a room, arms crossed, facing inwards. Nice large desk that currently is unoccupied, but two padded, pretty high back chairs sat turned kind of face diagonally in towards the desk. One occupied by Yell's friend from last night. The other occupied by young man in his mid-20s maybe. And walking around and speaking to them is Desmond Sinclair, who is a lean gentleman, probably somewhere between 5'9" and 5'10", so not too terribly tall, a bit above average. Straight black pants with black polished boots sticking up under them. Pressed white shirt with a gray, like a charcoal gray vest over the top. Currently his hands are clasped behind his back as he paces around them. Black leather gloves. Getting up to his face, he is a mayor, he's a politician, but he is clearly somebody who has been on the frontier. He's tan, like well suntanned skin, a few lines in his face here and there from not quite sure how old he is. Very pale blonde hair, cut short and gelled like aggressively backward across his head. Same like kind of pale blonde hair, of pencil mustache on either side. But by far the most jarring part of his appearance were his eyes, which does not catch Belle or Callie off guard. But for the rest of you, his eyes look like pearls that have been shattered. And in all the cracks is red. With the kind of where you would imagine the points of somebody's eyes being the center of where the cracks start.
Oh.
Not literal, but in coloration.
Sounds
Still.
really
So-
handsome.
But as he is walking, you can see, and O'Malley has kind of gestured for you all to stop. Mr. Masters, I believe this is where you will see that it is best if you come clean about your involvement with this gentleman. He's addressing a young man. Sir, I don't. He said he'd give me some money if I saw something after he had gone, leave a note out and by town. I didn't think it would mean no harm. No harm. No harm. No foul. Continues to pace. No foul at all. Well. Pacing around, Sadie takes a few steps forward, kind of positioning herself behind the chair of the young man. If that is all, simply to leave a message. If you saw things that may interest him. I believe then that we are done, Mr. Masters. As he is stopped kind of behind his chair, holds one hand out, palm up. Sadie, without a word, pistol in his hand. Good day, Mr. Masters. Fires it through the back of the chair. Through the back of his head. Now, sir, I think you find it in your best interest to cooperate and answer our questions unless you wish to end up like Mr. Masters. The dude that y'all took to looks rough. Rougher than y'all left him. And is staring at the floor at kind of an angle. O'Malley speaks up. Mr. Sinclair, I brought them as you asked. Turns and looks at all of you for the first time. Ah, good. Perhaps this would be easier. Some fresh enthusiasm.
Well, don't mind us. We're just enjoying the show.
I'm sure. Gestures to the body. Miss Thornton, have somebody take him to Mr. Buchanan, just in case. Tell them I wish to know if he worked for anybody else specifically, any other names he may know in relation to Mr. He looks over at this guy, Mr. Buckman. And the rest he may use to extrapolate on what information he gets from the first two. She nods. Arms up under the dude's shoulders, drags him out. Gestures for all of you to come in. Steps back around his desk and sits down.
Steps over the body.
It's being drug out of the room actively.
Guys probably like steps aside, lets it get dragged through before he goes in.
I
Interesting.
sort of take lead and go, Mr. Sinclair, what couldn't we do for you today?
Miss Callie. He just taps his fingers together, just kind of looking at all of you. Miss Bell, good morning. I know all of you were engaged at the sunrise last night, according to my valiant and effective deputies. Introductions, then. If it is not clear already, I am Desmond Sinclair, mayor of our fine town. Now you.
Pleasure.
I'm Sarah Bell Ferngullet, currently in the employ of Miss Bell.
Slight nod.
Mr. J. Ellis the Daughtry, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'll hold out my hand if he goes to shake it or not is on him.
If you reach out kind of like across his desk, he will kind of unlace his fingers. I have heard of your authorial works. Quite accomplished, from what I understand. Always good to hear that more intellectual pursuits can prosper even in these dangerous places.
All hope is not lost. Not yet, at least.
Lancer King, farmer.
You roll a deception check for me?
Sure. Two.
2. Just kind of looks at you. Mr. King. No other name.
That's the name I've had since I come here.
To deny a man a chance to start afresh. Though, he kind of looks over all your weaponry, which was not collected. Y'all were allowed to enter fully armed.
He probably has left the rifle back
Right.
at the place with turnip.
Yeah. I guess whatever arms you would have brought
Yeah.
with you were left on your persons. Though it would seem that perhaps other events or other people have seen fit to deny you that same opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, he sets his eyes on you guys.
Yeah, I imagine we were going like a circle or whatever, and Geist came in last. So, Professor Emmanuel Dumont, the Wilcox Academy in Veridland. Pleasure to meet you. Here for research on the mines.
I would also like you to roll a deception check for me.
I assumed so. Oh, yeah, it'll be a 26.
6. It's kind of
19 plus 7.
Another man of less violent pursuits. Perhaps you would not even be interested in being present, but that is your choice.
Always open to hearing people out.
But I understand you. He looks at you, Clyde. Have acquaintance with our friend here. You came seeking him this morning.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Got a couple of friends I need to catch up with.
I see.
Well, Buckman, is that your name?
Doesn't respond. You'll have time with him, I promise.
Oh no.
he will give a nod to that, like, all right then, we're friends.
This is the
Assuming-
worst ne-
Assuming, of course, we come to an agreement. You see, Mr. Buckman appears to have availed himself and some of his friends of my property. Isn't that right, Mr. Buckman? Just fucking shrugs, still staring at the floor. And aside from the damage to your saloon, Miss Bell, I believe this was the same caravan that the young Genevieve had departed Crystal Grid.
Yeah, so
From my understanding, and from what he has been so gracious as to share, they robbed it, killed most everybody, and took my valuables. The jewels that our miners work so hard to collect in our mines.
Sarabelle will go over and bodily place both hands on the guy tied up in the chairs. Did you fucking kill her?
Matt,
Did you kill
Shit.
Genevieve?
kind of looks over at you. I don't know who that is.
The fucking Herodon.
Ma'am, I ask that you focus on our conversation before you turn to questioning.
we'll go over and put her hands across Sarabelle's shoulders and go, darling, don't you worry. I believe we're going to have time. Come here for a moment, my love. And just kind of try to guide her back.
If you laid a single fucking finger on her, you will suffer every day for the rest of your life. And she'll just
Feels good.
let go.
They'll just kind of guide her back away.
I don't envy that gentleman his future.
We apologize, Mrs. Sinclair. Please continue.
I understand that tensions are high. I will not begrudge it so soon after the incident. And if this young lady has ties to Miss Genevieve as well, he looks back at you guys. I do not envy his time left on this planet either. Now,
Just gets a nod.
they seem to have been bound for Picton, which is the closest town to Crystal Grid. Also a mining town.
What was the name of it?
Picton.
Picton.
Pickton.
Very close to Pikmin.
Very different conceptually. Very different things.
Different game rating.
Yeah, where's the mature Pikmin game?
And they seem to have some knowledge of some of the folks who are in my employ. There seems to be stakes in finding these criminals amongst the lot of you. And you all seem quite competent. As of yet, anyway. I would have you pursue them. Do with them as you wish, I care not. I want what is mine. And I do want whoever's in charge of these fools I would have that person brought back to me, alive.
Well, I do not speak for this group here, but since everybody is so quiet, I would say Kakachiton, but that seems mightily offensive at the very least, given our present company. However, I'm here for a good story.
Mrs. Sinclair, I am here to serve, as you would know.
Wonderful.
They disrupted my home and put those under my protection in danger, not least of all Genevieve. I am, as you would say, in.
Wonderful.
I'll just
Should be
call out.
any.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, you go ahead.
I'll just call out the Buckman, Dragonborn, and Bugbear with him.
Grunts. He's back to looking at the floor.
Can I
Is that
try
it?
something that may make him more talkative?
Oh shit! Was it a grunt in the affirmative?
It was just a grunt.
There's a
Like-
group of,
Cool,
I'm
man,
internally bleeding, someone help.
Like I said, this dude looks rough. He has not had a good night.
Sorry, go ahead. I keep interrupting everyone today.
No, you're fine. Just Sinclair in response to Alistair. By all means. I find myself curious. Proceed.
Wonderful. Alistair has a silver coin that he's always flipping in between his fingers. It kind of never stops. When a pin isn't there, his coin is there. And with his left hand, he'll fish into his left pocket and bring out a similar like tincture jar that he gave you last night, but a bit different in color. And I'll look at him before I do this, Buckman, and I will say, how easily this goes past this point is gonna depend on how this conversation goes. It's best you drink this down with no issues and just let it take the wheel. I suggest you tell them everything that they need to know. Cast suggestion.
Casting suggestion. I will say, you say it's like you suggest that you
I'm
drink it.
attempting to talk him into also failing to save purposefully.
Yeah.
Right. I will say he's taking it, like he's not given a chance to take it willingly or not, because big Goliath hand just comes out from around the chair, grab, open, up. So O'Malley's like 4.
Gotcha. But I think he was going to drink it down on his own accord, which would left him with a little bit more dignity, but that's neither here nor there. My spell saves DC 14. I don't know if he's resisting. It's wisdom, I believe.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Gladly.
If you want to see if you can convince him to just
fail to save.
fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Well,
persuasion.
he's doing that after. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just saying my persuasion's plus 8, so 12 plus 8 for a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Get some dirty 20s in chat.
After he makes the comment about leaving him with some dignity, Geist just says, "Didn't exactly leave me with much dignity last night, running around in my nightshirt."
Oh, so you were part of the scrap. That went right over my head, Mr. Geist. Glad to have you on the team then.
I provided some emergency medical assistance to the good lady over there. She was busy using her irons. Thought I'd try and keep her in the game.
So you're a professor of medicine then, Mr. Dumont.
If only I'd be a little bit more useful. Just kind of stock things where there were holes.
Just in the background, guy drowning on fucking liquid. We're just having like a very civilized, proper conversation.
Other hand comes around, pinches his nose.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
Hobby shooter, nothing more, but I am in need of funds. Research doesn't come for free.
He fails on purpose. Or he fails. I don't think it particularly matters to you, but your persuasion check did succeed, and he just fails it. What was it you were? What was your the wording of your suggestion? One more time for me.
I suggested that he answer all of their questions openly and honestly.
And Sinclair kind of. This is to make him speak truth.
Merely a suggestion. The tincture that I've given him there should help loosen his tongue a little bit. We shall
Interesting.
see. You cannot trust everything that comes out of his mouth, but for a little bit of time, he'll be more pliable to telling the truth.
Wonderful.
Mr. King, I just turned my head away from the mayor. I am much more interested in your questions than his.
I reach down into my boot and hand you a knife. If you're feeling interested.
You handed it to me?
Yep.
That's all right. He just
Do that. Go ahead.
He just ignores the knife, just looks right at Buckman and asks, Bugbear and Dragonborn, they with this other group?
Kind of. Yes.
Am I Rita? Rose? She there?
I don't know if anymore.
Dead? Alive?
Live last I saw her.
What'd he say?
He said live last I saw her.
When was that?
A few days ago.
What direction?
Glances towards Sinclair. Headed to Picton.
That's all I need.
Kind of
I'd
as
like
a
to-
separate.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, I'd like to insight check the answers that he's giving
Just in case.
Mr. King. I am like smiling and face first against these guys. I want to see if Mr. Buckhead?
Buckman.
Buckman, if he's telling the truth. Sorry, go ahead, Cody.
Geist would have stepped over to Miss Bell while that exchange with Clyde was happening, or Mr. King at this juncture, and just kind of lean in and kind of not speaking softly, not to be secretive so much as to not interrupt what is going on, but just to I have intentions for an extended stay, potentially, here in Crystal Grit. Should I assist you? Could I perhaps barter for room and board for a little bit more of that extended stay?
My dear Professor, I believe we can certainly make those arrangements, particularly if you're going to lend your assistance to our upcoming tasks.
I have just one more question then. How do you feel about house cats?
As long as they have good manners and do not destroy my property. Obviously, she looks down at Gus, who's always with her. I'm fine with that.
Very well. They'll just step back.
Sarah Bell will look at the man tied in the chair. Did you kill the Herodon that was part of that caravan?
No.
What did you do with her?
shrugs. They took some of them.
Where?
It's kind of like Victor.
Popular destination, it would seem.
Well, it's fortunate for you that you didn't kill her.
Shrugs.
I look over to Mr. Sinclair to basically communicate, like, non-verbally, whether or not he wants me to carry things on or to end things after this line of questioning.
He just looks at him. Looks back to Alistair real quick. Quite handy trick.
Indeed.
The name of your employer, Buckman. Who is it? Few moments. What is the exact wording of suggestion?
Sure. I suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or two and magically influence a creature you can see within the range that can hear and understand me. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. Suggestion must be worded in such a manner to make the course of action sound and reasonable. I think mine was. Asking the creature to stab itself, throw itself from the spear, blah, blah, blah. Obviously harmful acts ends the spell. Wisdom saving throw on a failed save. It pursues the course of action you described to the best of its ability.
The best of its
The
ability.
suggested course of action can continue for the entire duration, which is 8 hours, by the way.
Nice.
If the suggested activity can be completed in a shorter time, the spell ends when the subject finishes what it was asked to do.
He kind of Silver Shot.
Is that a familiar name to me?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I know this name?
History check.
Yeah, give me some history checks.
Let's go.
Flight is good. You don't gotta roll.
I don't have to roll?
Nope.
I will
Anybody
shut
else?
one.
I also rolled
What's
a
the
nat
name
20.
again?
He said Silver Shot.
Thank you.
So I got 2 natural 20s.
Holy shit.
Lord Almighty.
12. For
Well,
Alistair. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, it's a natural 20 plus 1, because I have a plus 1 in history, so
Very
21.
nice. Okay.
I got +4.
So 24. Okay. Bell? Or did you roll? I don't know. It's up to you. Didn't have
I
to.
didn't do it, but you know what? I'm gonna, because why not? Okay. Because you never know. You never know what you might know. What we say, history. So that is 17.
17. Okay. Anybody else rolling? Going once. Going twice. 3
I
times.
do not have knowledge history. Plus, I haven't been around, so.
All right, fair enough. So anybody who got a 15 and above, Silver Shot or Silas Silvershot Granger, is the leader of a band of outlaws known as the Worm Riders. I'll say for our natural 20s, and I'll say that was part of the freebie that you get, Clyde. So you know who that is. For our natural 20s, oh gosh, what's something a little extra? This is, I'll say for our natural 20s, like especially for Callie, you know, because you came from across the country. You knew that the Worm Riders had been this far, like you never heard of them being this far west. Like they had been on the western side of the continent. They had usually been closer to the edge of like settled land in Ukripshadal and made their business there. They've made some trips before farther, but that's interesting.
Okay.
And as the name would suggest, Silas Granger is a fairly notorious gunslinger himself
Right.
in his own right. Made a bit of his name killing the Fae and some of the more monstrous denizens of the intelligent variety, like hunting them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and that's information that both Callie and Sarabelle would have gotten out of their natural 20s.
Interesting.
Strange. Brave but foolish. Very well. Turns back to the rest of you. But then you know the name of the one that I would like alive. Silas Granger. I would have him here. Do any of you wish anything else of Mr. Buckman?
Indeed, I
No.
would. Get on my knees in front of Mr. Buckman here. I am a writer, Mr. Buckman, so one thing that drives narrative is motivation. Why did you kill Mr. King's family standing behind me?
Kind of, in his turns, kind of looks at Clyde. He knows. King.
Well, Mr. King, and of course, Mayor, if neither of you have a particular urge of killing him, I'd like to take a crack at it.
Oh, Miss Sarabelle, if everybody wants to take a crack at him, I can bring him back a few times. Just so that he knows what he's done. So,
I'm very glad that we got our relationship off to a good start.
At the phrase "killed his family," because Belle didn't catch that before, she just visibly like draws up and stiffens, silent.
And Sarabelle's gonna draw one of her kukri knives. Just
If you have desire for recreation, I simply ask that you do not make a mess in my study. Miss Thornton, Mr. O'Malley, if you could show our guests to the workroom.
excellent.
After they are satisfied, they may peruse Mr. I'm blanking on his name, I'm so sorry. Mr. Caldwell's inventory that he holds for me, both inbound and outbound, to aid on their mission. They both nod to him. Amali, by the back of his collar, and will escort all of you to a nondescript room within the house.
while everybody else is exiting, I'd like to nod to Mr. Sinclair and ask for a minute.
Right? He allows everybody else to file out, assuming everyone is following. That's entirely up to you guys.
Yeah, the only thing I would want to do is, as Mr. Buckman's marched past me, I'll lightly put a hand on his shoulder. Says, before the pain gets too bad, would you like any meaningful last words?
He just stares at you, like this is a dude. Like, he is gone. Like, he is already like a million miles away. Like, this is not. it's almost like he is familiar with this situation that's about to go down, but just from the other side, and he knows it's not gonna be good. And he's already mentally like checking out.
How boring. I'll let them go do their thing. I have no interest in all that.
Okay. Callie's
Belle will take Gus and head to go see Mr. Caldwell. I'm going to head on to the general store. This is not exactly my forte. I'm going to go by and see Mr. Caldwell and start making our preparations. I will see y'all at the sunrise. Do enjoy your work.
Of course, Miss Bell.
Yes, Miss Cowley. What can I do for you?
Mrs. Sinclair, I just was curious if any general dispatches in regards to things about me have come through the rail station. You know, the Mackies or the...
Remind me, had you ever given any kind of information about your past to Sinclair?
I specifically, so I would have told him that I was from the Mackey gang, and that I left because of reasons, and he's never really questioned it because I've been pretty loyal and good to him. And then I have been super vague about missing persons or like bounties for missing women, like rewards for the retreat or like return of, you know, so nothing like specific, but just enough because of like just remove them from like, you know, the bulletin boards, because, you know, like the wanted posters and things like that.
And did you use your full name here? Like your actual full name? Here within Crystal Grit?
Everybody has to be by Callie.
So no last name.
No last name.
No last name, no full first name.
No.
He just kind of raises one eyebrow. I'm not even sure if the Mackey gang is still running. If they have made no splashes this far west. You know the consortium, they are aggressive in their displeasure.
Yes, sir.
If that is all, Miss Callie.
If there hasn't been anything else interesting across your desk, then no.
Unless you have any specifics which you're looking for.
Just those reward posters for young women.
Then I am afraid not.
Thank you, sir. And I tip my hat, walk gently, like I'm not stomping through his office. Gently close the door and go downstairs. Kelly doesn't really want to torture this guy, but it was, you know, playing it up for the big boss. So I do want to track down the professor, though. Where did the professor go?
Mr. Professor. As everyone filed out, he is probably just waiting outside. Sorry, I'm remembering names. Miss Bell, is she still inside or did she leave?
She left. I believe.
Left.
Yeah.
Okay.
When everybody filed out, I would have taken my leave.
Gotcha. That being the case, he would also have headed back to the Sunrise Saloon. He has some thinking to do, so he will be just kind of sitting in the main room for the time being.
Right. Just heading straight back to the Sunrise. No other stops.
Not at this time.
And back. the rest of you. The floor is yours. I simply asked not nothing too graphic,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, as we have
Um,
discussed previously.
Mr. King,
Yes.
shall you do the honors, or will I?
Let's see. Where do they put him in this nondescript room?
It is a relatively blank room. There's a wooden chair in the middle.
Yeah,
He sat in it.
just barely into the room. He just quickly, as a matter of fact, as something that needs to get done, and one step after the other, he just shoots, puts gun back in the face.
All right.
Question on her lips. Bang.
Well, before we go, allow me to pay a special surprise for him in the afterlife. And much like she has done before in the service of her church, she will perform the sacrificial rite to her god. Send him to go visit my god.
Anything in particular stand out about that? Out of curiosity.
Mostly it is a collection of his blood, making runic symbols on his flesh. But the only thing that she does that's really noticeable is she, just from ear to ear, cuts his throat. Her big red smile.
You may not think that stands out. That stands out, I would say, to most everybody who is in that room.
Is O'Malley in the room?
Yeah, O'Malley and Thornton are with you guys.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say, one thing that does stand out is the chanting of one name, and that is Sanus.
Clyde will pretty well ignore all the wild shit Sarah's doing right now.
Sure.
He'll look up at O'Malley and ask him, kind of nodding over to the state in which we found Buckman in. You do that.
Just kind of glances over at Thornton. We took shifts. Ah, damn. He does look tired.
He said, "Damn, I've been beating your ass so much, I'm tired
I was
myself
about to
out."
say that
But
ass beating where you have to
out.
tag out to keep it going. That was, woo.
Probably neither of them got a full night's rest.
God damn.
Fuck around, you find out in Crystal Grid.
He just kind of like nods, pauses for a minute, thinking, and just kind of says, "Yeah, good that he got from one a little bit bigger then," and leaves the room.
I almost forgot. One other thing is she was wearing her Plague Doctor mask the entire time.
Okay.
Extra weird.
Oh.
Hell yeah. All
That
right.
doesn't make it better.
I would love when I get back to the sunrise. Do I see the professor sitting at like a table, like eating lunch or something?
Yeah, he's probably not even eating. He's sitting somewhere wherever the most secluded. Not like he's hiding, but like he's focused on thoughts internally, turned inward. just kind of sitting there with probably like a glass of water, milk, or something non-alcoholic.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Belle would have coordinated with Pax back in the kitchen that there's gonna be a lunch served for everybody together when they come back.
So I walk into the sunrise, clock the professor, stride over. This seat taken.
It is, but I think I can make an exception. Go ahead. Kind of gestures.
So I
You know
sit
all my
down.
friends.
Wonderful. So I shift my chair so I'm like watching the front door and cross my arms and lean back, like trying to make this look like a fairly nonchalant conversation. Go. So here in Crystal Crit, we do things a certain way. Many of us have our secrets. Your secret's not mine to tell. As long as you continue to watch our backs and be a team player. Your secrets are yours.
Now I'm the one that's having the closed chat, not even the DM. Just kind of smirks a little bit. So no need to explain that exhaustion in combat and perhaps hitting your head on the way down next to a carriage, your ears and eyes could have deceived you.
Sir, I may be young, but I ain't stupid.
No implication that you were.
My word is good. I have my secrets. Miss Bell has her secrets. Everybody here in Crystal Grit has our secrets. As long as you keep your nose clean, who's for me to care?
Can't promise it'll stay squeaky, but as far as you're concerned, of course.
Tip my hat, stand up, and go back to my position as the doorman. Just chilling.
Can I have eavesdropped on this conversation?
That's up to you guys.
I'll ask Geist and Callie if I can roll a perception check.
Yeah, please do.
Please drop
Go
them
for
eaves.
it, because
Oh, drop no Eve, sir. Honest. In the very front of the window there. Follow me.
I think I got a
because Geist rolled really garbage on a perception check to tell that you were eavesdropping.
I
on him.
rolled a nat 20 on my perception check. And I
Ooh.
have a +2 to that.
Ooh,
So.
yeah, I'm probably looking at you with a really creepy smile, like on the banister above you. Like,
I only rolled a 10, so I'll say you're not in his immediate line of sight. He's like angled to look at he's angled to look at Callie. So
+3 to hear the conversation. Go.
Yeah.
9.
9.
Damn, both of them notice you.
That
That was a
just
perception check. That was
Oh.
so. That man has no shame.
19
Wait.
stealth check.
Never mind. That was pretty good.
Unless we're doing a deception, then it's much, much higher.
That is between
I
you
rolled really
guys.
shitty on my perception, so it's fine.
I mean,
If anything, I would say my ruling would say it would be stealth using your charisma modifier. As this is a social environment and you're trying to, I would suppose, look nonchalant as you are trying to eavesdrop.
23.
Oh, then that beats that even with, or like, I mean, it's a nat 20 plus a 2, so you still beat it by
That
one.
it is still resolved between you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
this is
yeah, like I said, as if you're trying to notice me listening in, I am like probably sitting up there playing with Agatha's hair, and you'll just see my eyes drift over. I wouldn't rob a natural 20, and you'll see my eyes drift over to your table for just like half a second, and then I'm back into her eyes. But I can't hear shit.
Yeah, I think that we were talking nondescript enough that we didn't reveal anything. So Callie, just notes.
Notes the interest.
Yeah.
Geist does not note the interest. Geist, got it.
Yeah. Though I think
Like I said,
that's-
I'm just ruling it's not in his line of sight. He was focused on Callie.
I think though that like the next time Callie has a one-on-one with Mr. Daughtry, we're gonna have some just a more real conversation, because for your knowledge there, Jonesy, I have purposefully been avoiding you because of your like your gathering of stories, like lots of one word sentences, or like yep, nope, yes sir, like like there's purposefully trying to
What you mean
not
to say is you're a
answer any-
fan of my work? Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I have my secrets, sir. I have my secrets, and I don't want to give them up. That's all.
Okay. Interesting. So, I did hear. I think I only heard one person. So we'll just see if we want to wrap this up real quick. Miss Bell, I believe you said that before you went back to the Sunrise, you wanted to stop by the general store, Mr. Caldwell's establishment.
Yeah.
Oh, you are almost impossible to hear.
Yeah, your mic sounds like it's got something on top of it.
You are currently Charlie Brown adult voice.
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Crystal clear.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay. Well, that mic isn't working. But didn't Mr. Sinclair say that he was gonna tell Mr. Caldwell to hook us up?
Yep.
So
Basically,
okay.
you guys are allowed to get some of the smuggled shit that he holds for him.
Nice.
So I'm just gonna stop by Mr. Caldwell's store and just kind of check in. I'm assuming that it's gonna be like a shopping trip for all of us, or is there?
Entirely
I think
up to
that's
you
what.
guys, however you want to do it.
Or if there's like assigned stuff, am I just like picking up a pre-done packet?
Y'all will get to shop. Y'all won't be able to clear him out. It's basically gonna work like you guys are gonna get a limited amount of stuff that you can get for free.
Okay. So I'll just stick my head in to Mr. Caldwell. Good morning, Mr. Caldwell. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Miss Bell. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine, thank you, sir. It's been a minute or two since I've had the pleasure of seeing your face. I have just come from Mr. Sinclair's home, and he did let me know that he was going to make arrangements for some shopping to be done.
Kind of smiles a little bit. I did get a runner. You what to more his private stock that I hold with him.
Wonderful, wonderful. I just wanted to stick my head in. Of course, we won't be descending on you just right in the moment. We want to give you a moment or two, because there are quite a few of us. So I assume we're gonna I'll get everybody fed, and then we will come back. I wanted to ask you, what's your
All right.
preference? Do you prefer us as a group and get it done, or do you prefer in ones and twos?
As one group will work just fine. I'll step out for lunch while you ruse.
Wonderful, wonderful. So say about slightly afternoon. Does that sound okay with you, sir?
It should be just fine.
Wonderful. I appreciate you so much. So you have a great morning. Would you like me to bring some of those cinnamon rolls that Pax makes that you like so well?
I would have any he said, yeah, that would be wonderful. Yes, I would appreciate that greatly. Wonderful chef,
Yes.
that Pax.
We are so blessed to have him in our employ. I'll ask him to whip up a batch so I can make sure and leave some for you after lunch.
Wonderful. I will expect you. And he goes and he checks a watch, pocket watch out of his waistcoat real quick. I will. So in about a couple hours, 2 to 3 hours or so, then.
Absolutely. Does that give you enough time, sir?
Oh, that should be just fine. Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I assume when we come in, we'll be able to see clearly what is available to us. We don't want to accidentally take the wrong things.
Nods.
Wonderful. I will see you later, sir. You have a wonderful afternoon, Mr. Caldwell.
Do you step back to the sunrise? That
So-
is
and
where
then
we'll go
she'll
ahead
just
and
be-
end tonight's session.
Oh,
11:04
yay.
already.
Hey.
Oh man, how fun!
Hell yeah.
Fun, fun, fun.
Indeed.
Ah,
Indeed.
goodness. Well,
Got a very
thank
Halloween
you
vibe today.
guys. Do what?
We had a little bit of a Halloween vibe there.
Well, my goodness, how exciting. Well, thank you guys for coming to play with me. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. I know I had a lot of fun with that. I've got shit planned for this fucking campaign. This is weird feeling. I know what's going on. It's a weird feeling. I love it. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I hope anybody watching, I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. We'll be continuing to do this for the foreseeable future, probably sometime into the beginning of next year. We'll see how long it goes on, or they might just die. I don't know. I'm really shit at balancing encounters, and this shit is wild as hell, boy. So they might just die. Yeah. I have a history. I have TPK'd 100% of the games I have run, which is one. In my defense,
He's 1-0.
real quick, before anybody starts going, oh, he's that DM.
Perfect.
I've ran one campaign so far. But yeah, we'll be doing this every Wednesday for the foreseeable future at 7 p.m. Eastern time here in the United States. So come on and keep on seeing us for that. On Saturdays, of course, we are still doing our Cross Eberron campaign, which is Dungeon Mastered by our boy Jonesy or Alistair Dotry at Creepy Fuck. And that is a ton of fun. A lot of shit going on there, which is on 5 p.m. on those Saturdays, Eastern Standard. And specifically this Sunday, we have a one-shot, the Conclave of Crowns, which is going to be exploring some fun and narrative consequences of things that have been happening in our Cross Eberron universe and kind of setting the stage for where that campaign is going to keep going. And that will be around noon, maybe a little later. That's not going to be quite as hard and fast, but keep an eye out for if you want to make sure you know exactly when we go live. Go ahead and follow us here. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, all of the places, and you'll know when exactly we go live. But it should be around noon on Sunday. And of course, open your heart wallets to the Charity Life for the Children's Miracle Network, for Children's Hospital of Atlanta. Fun stuff, helping kids. It's the good thing to do, not the dastardly evil thing to do or blood sacrifice thing to do that apparently goes on in this campaign. But we'll be rating our friends Perception Studio. They do TTRPG things as well, so go show them love. We like to make sure everybody's having fun in the D&D times and support each other and love one another so that we can be awful pretend terrible people, because you need a vent, you got to get it out somewhere, so why not share that with the world so everybody knows how fucked up you are sometimes. So we'll see y'all later. Bye.
Find us in the plains of hell.
Wow, it's a scary place.